Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody.
Say it again.
Friday.
Feels so good.
Yeah, happy Friday, everybody.
Yeah, buddy.
Had graduation weekend. We had, of course, first graduations last night.
Yep.
Here in town.
Last day of school for you Roswell Independent School Districtors.
My wife, we had a long day yesterday. Matter of fact, I didn't even get to go to the Invaders game. We were going to go, and then I didn't get out of my meetings till about 8. And I was like,
wow.
well, let's go home.
Yeah.
So we went home.
We're done.
And we got settled and everything, and my wife was like, tomorrow's it. She just like out of the nowhere. I'm like, what? Oh, yeah. So, yeah. She's happy.
Dude, and that's one of the things that like lured me into education, like when I was going to college to be a teacher, was like, wait, you can just take whole months off of work and still be paid for it? That sounds like a hack. Now, granted, the hack is that for the other 8 months of the year, you have to take care of everyone's children. That's why the hack doesn't work.
Trust me, I used to think like that until I married a teacher.
Right.
And then after 20 years of the summers, yeah, she's by this time of year, now more than ever with the whole COVID and everything that's been going on last year and a half here. She's ready.
Oh, absolutely.
She's like, now
and that's what I'm saying is I never want to take anything, especially after the last year and after we all realized exactly how god awful our children are between the hours of 8 and 5. Yeah, I would never want to take anything away from a teacher ever again, but still, must be nice to have a couple of months off.
It is, and then when I will say this, because usually right like July, mid-July, she's like, oh, I got to get back, and getting back.
You hit that wall. That's what's got to suck for them. It's like for a full month, it's like Sunday.
Yeah.
For a full month, it's like, I have to go to work tomorrow. But it's like a month. Still, though.
But she does that to me, and it's always like on the Sunday night or something, and I'm like, yeah, I think you're not getting sympathy from me.
But that's
Sorry.
the thing. It's real hard to get sympathy from them, too, when you're like, oh, I go and make fart jokes for a living. It's like,
this is true.
Yeah, it's sort of hard to catch sympathy on that. It's like I sit in a room and talk, mostly to myself. Hard to...
These are true statements.
Catch a sympathetic eye.
So, congratulations to all of our teachers on your last day of work for a couple months.
Absolutely. And the class of 2021, you guys, I mean, nobody can take away your accomplishment after the insane years that you've just come through.
Enjoy your graduations. Of course, we had a video. We're videoing, Roswell Goddard, all those. The early college was last night.
Yep.
And then
it was Roswell High tonight, and then Goddard University tomorrow.
Is it, or is it the other way around?
It might be the other way around.
I think it's the other way around. I think Goddard's tonight, and then Roswell's tomorrow. Oh!
I was gonna say Hard R would know. He's like got that schedule indelibly etched in his head.
I heard a voice echo from the room
from parts unknown.
He didn't finish his response.
If you're gonna speak up, I'll speak up.
A thumb on. I'm right or he's right.
There it is. Roswell tonight, Goddard University tomorrow. Yes!
He nailed it.
We got there, folks. It was a journey, but we got there. Thanks, Suge.
Suge Knight?
Suge.
Oh.
No, you know what? Honestly, I took that. I've taken that.
So you start calling him Suge Knight? Or?
No. Hard R, Suge Knight. The true Knight. No, I've been watching a lot of King of the Hill lately, and I sort of like just started calling people Suge, because that's what Dale's wife calls everybody.
Okay, so now that's
like,
just your...
Oh, Suge. Yeah, so I just...
It is the term of endearment of the moment.
For sugar.
Yeah, I got you.
Thanks, sugar.
I got you. Well,
I'm starting to kind of like work in Southern colloquialisms into my life. I've been, blessing people's hearts.
I was going to say, are you all in the full-on bless your heart?
Your heart.
Yeah. It is a much calm
Oh, it's
nice way to say that person's just not.
It's the most passive aggressive. It's the most passive aggressive middle finger I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
Oh, bless your heart.
Because you instantly
right here, buddy.
Instantly you say that, someone's like, "Yeah, I'm aware. You're not. Your elevator doesn't go to the top floor."
Now, in fairness, you can say that with sincerity. You can. It's possible. Like I've had it said to me, but it's one of those phrases where it's like it really depends on the It's kind of like the word Jew. It sort of just depends on how you say it.
Well, I guess that would be true with any word.
Exactly. It really is. It's all about the way you say it. But yeah,
this is true.
Bless your heart is one of those phrases that it's so versatile.
Yeah, it is. And it can be diabolical too. So I do appreciate that side of it. But we got on the graduations. That's where we were going. Went to Bless Your Hearts. But
to bless your hearts.
Either way, congratulations to the graduates, and bless your heart to those.
Bless your heart, everyone. Class of 2021, bless your hearts.
Oh man. Let me just give you the rundown.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about how delicious McDonald's is.
Oh, we should.
Here's what we got going on. We had Congresswoman Yvette Harrell pop by for a bit yesterday. So I had a great conversation with her. I'm going to play that for you here in just a wee bit. Next hour, we'll chit-chat about life and bless your heart. No, we will chit-chat. We'll chit-chat.
We'll have actual things to talk about.
Yeah.
Mercury's in retrograde, and apparently that makes a difference.
Oh.
Yeah, who knew?
I saw the band Mercury Rising once. Neat.
Jupiter is ascending, and so are other parts of my body. But never mind that.
So we'll talk about that science in the 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, the new executive director for Main Street Roswell, Marie Manning, will join us. And we will chit-chat about tonight.
Whoa!
Because it is First Friday.
Yes, it is.
And so we'll talk about First Friday. We'll talk about Festival de UFO and all the things Main Street's got coming up here next.
Boy, howdy, I've never seen someone take the reins for a festival quite like she has done with Alien Fest. I mean, this is her baby, and she has knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, so we're going to talk all about that in the 9 o'clock hour this morning. Plus, your news of local and national, our features, sports, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Before we do any of that, though, we got to thank McDonald's.
Yes.
By the way, Tanner, ice to tea ratio, spot on today.
Nice. It was kind of interesting. I walked in on Mike giving a lesson last week. A lesson on ice etiquette. What's great is Tanner was sitting there like taking notes. Okay, 70-30. And that's true though. When you're dealing with iced tea, it's a room temperature to warm, you know, because it's brewed, and so you're gonna, ice will melt faster.
That's right. So he nailed it today. So big thank you to McDonald's and Tanner for his proper ice situation.
That's the thing. He's stupid considerate, like ridiculously considerate. He literally asked a guest that we have today, Marie, who's coming in at 9 o'clock when she called to check. He asked what she wanted for breakfast. That's just super considerate.
Well, don't let the other guests catch wind of that because they're going to get jelly.
That's what I'm saying. You got to be careful because Tanner's love can only go so far. But
going to get jelly, yeah. So. Saying. But, big thank you to Tanner. Big thank you to McDonald's.
That's
Swing
right.
by any of your McDonald's here and enjoy a delicious breakfast this morning, or enjoy a delicious breakfast for lunch, too, because they do lunch all day on certain items. And, of course, download the app, and you can use that app to get exclusive deals only available to you, the app user.
That's right.
You can use that to pre-order, pick up through the drive-thru or through curbside, or come in and get it. And they can do all that now, I think. They're back to...
Not for nothing, but that's actually... The app is how I found out about the new sauces. I mean, that's the first way, because they put it on the sign, and that's cool. But I got an update. I got an app, alert on my app that said, hey, there's some new sauce to try. I'm like, yes, sir. On my way. Let me get my coat.
Sauce eaters, unite.
Let me put my shoes on. I'll be right there.
The bat single's been set out. Let's go. Right. But, it is really convenient. It's easy. Like I said, you get exclusive deals. I always look... Like I'm thinking, oh, I got a hankering for nuggets. Every time I go to the app to look for the $4.99 20 piece, and and most of the time it's there. Sometimes they switcheroo it on me, but most of the time it's there.
You can really bump that up a notch because on certain like game days or game nights, like the Super Bowl, World Series, things like that, McDonald's will generally offer a 40 to 50 piece for like $9.99.
Yeah,
that's a party. That's a party pack.
I need to do that one year.
It's pretty awesome. You walk into the club with 40 nuggets. I'm just saying, you're gonna have some friends.
That's right.
That's like popping bottles. I'm popping nuggets.
I feel like you're gonna earn a nickname when you do stuff like that.
Yeah, Nugget Jim.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's just Nugget Jim.
King Nug.
King Nugs. The Sauce Boss.
McChicken Master. Something like that.
Just get it printed on a bowling jacket.
Sauce Boss.
King Nugs, the Sauce Boss.
Oh, that's strong.
Oh, I'm sweet. And I'm sour.
Savory.
They call me tangy, ladies.
That's right.
I don't know if that's actually not a good thing.
And
tangy
or creamy.
Oh, let's just put it like this. I leave a weird mouthfeel. How about that?
We're supposed to get people to want to go to McDonald's.
Oh no, this is about me now. McDonald's is great. I'm talking about the Sauce Boss.
Yeah. Sauce Boss don't care.
That's right. Sauce Boss don't care. Oh.
But big thank you to McDonald's. Swing by any of your McDonald's here. They got you covered.
2 in Roswell, 1 in Artesia.
Yep. And that south one, it will be soon coming there. They're doing their thing on that. So it's good.
Yeah.
I'm sure rain probably slowed down progress this week.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Although it could have maybe helped. I mean, they cleared out the area. Washed some stuff, washed the debris away.
Yeah, this is true. Well, good news is, for those who don't like rain, I don't think we got any coming anytime for the next couple of days.
Right.
We do got the hot stuff.
So it's a dry out time.
Yeah.
Get ready for the entirety of Roswell to just smell like a fish.
It's going to be like pushing 100 by like Sunday. So
yes. And muggy.
Yeah. So we'll do that. All right. It is 7:17. Probably, you know what? I got to get an interview going, so I probably should shut my hole. So let's do this. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Dry air coming into our area today, so it doesn't look like we'll be getting any rain. We'll keep the sunshine and our afternoon high in the mid to upper 80s and a little bit breezy. Overnight, partly cloudy in low 60s, and then we heat up a little bit tomorrow with highs in the low 90s, breezy and sunny. Turning cloudy on Saturday night, then we're quickly back to sunshine on Sunday, highs in the mid 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 64 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 75% with winds out of the southeast at 6 miles per hour. For today, today's are actually, it's warmer but cooler than what's coming up, if that makes sense. Mostly sunny today. Expect highs the upper 80s, 88 for a high today with south winds 5 to 10. That's pretty nice. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 63 with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, we're going to see a heat up. Sunny skies, mid-90s tomorrow. 94 is what they're saying for a high on Saturday with winds out of the south 5 to 15. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 63. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. For your Sunday, mostly sunny, hot. Highs right near the century mark, 99 for the high on Sunday with south winds 5 to 10. And then Sunday night, mostly cloudy, overnight low 54. And then 98 for a high on Monday under sunny skies. And then it keeps going 101 on Tuesday, 104 on Wednesday, 104 on Thursday as well. So, enjoy your 88 today because it's going to be warming up big time here, particularly next week. All right, it is 7:19. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And then Congresswoman Yvette Harold dropped in for an interview yesterday, so we're going to play that for you here in just a few. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
As the school year comes to an end and COVID restrictions start to ease, don't lose sight of the lessons learned. Cover your cough, positive personal hygiene, respect one another, show and tell others you love them. Fiscal and social responsibility are great ways to show your love. This is Damon Graham, your local New York Life agent. I can help you show your love to others. Call me at 575-623-3733 0803 so we can determine how you best can show your love. Expect to be blessed.
Followers of Jesus learn in the Gospel of Matthew about true discipleship. It means emulating him and pursuing a genuine righteousness that exceeds that of Pharisees and teachers of the law. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus described his idea for true disciples. He expected them to be forgiving, honest, genuine, humble, and most of all, kind to everyone around them. True disciples will proclaim that Jesus is the Son of God, that only he's worthy of our praise and our worship. They'll live like he is their Lord and Savior and that they are repentant sinners saved by his grace. Jesus encouraged his disciples to persevere, knowing that difficult times would come. He gave them a blueprint of what a true disciple looks like. The question is, are we willing to follow that same blueprint?
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts? Here's Mike Winters.
And welcome back to the morning show. And joining us in studio this morning, we have Congresswoman Yvette Herrell back with us in town, in New Mexico here, able to join us for a visit this morning. First off, thanks for being able to pop by for a little bit and talk to us.
Oh, I'm so happy to. And it's, you know what, it's always just fun to pop in and say hi and get caught up on current events. And I think people appreciate kind of hearing what's really going on, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, it's kind of like the back in few moons ago, like when Dad come home for work for the day,
right?
And everyone sits down, tell us about your day. So it's kind of come on in.
I grew up in that era. You sit around the dinner table and everybody has to say what they learned in school and how everybody's day was. Yeah, I think that's what's missing. We just don't have enough personal communication.
Mm-hmm.
It's all turned into text or to some kind of social media instead of just the actual dialogue. So I really appreciate this, and even more so when I get to be in person.
We're glad to have you. And yes, we live in a world where you got to get your thought out in 120 characters or less.
Right.
For last time we had talked to you about a month ago or so, it was you had just this is when we were talking border security stuff.
Right.
I mean, that's always going on, but it was a little heavier at that time. And you basically invited the vice president out to come see the border and all that. And I think it was maybe a day before, a couple days after that we had talked to you, and that happened. So
yeah.
Any updates on that front?
Yeah, sadly, we did. We sent an actual written letter to the vice president, and we also sent out a video message to her, asking her, number one, to come to New Mexico, see the border firsthand for herself, and then in the letter, I actually invited myself to go with her down to Guatemala and Mexico so that she could have bipartisan conversations and that we could get to the root cause of what was happening. And of course, it's fascinating to me because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand, the root cause is let's stop incentivizing people to come to our country illegally.
Absolutely.
And stop giving them all the handouts that we're giving them. But as of today, we have not heard one thing back. No surprise there, but it is sad. Mm-hmm. And really on a serious note that she has been designated the Southern Border Czar, the border czar. And yet that was 70-something days ago. And she's yet to make any attempt to visit any portion of the southern border.
Yeah, and we hear the message that we don't want partisan politics now on these things,
right.
And so that's what we're hearing. Well, this is where we need to practice what we preach, and
right.
And border security is not a partisan thing; it's an American thing, and we need to solve it as Americans.
That's right. It is not a partisan issue. It's really about the American people. It's about national security. It's about ensuring that we know who's coming across our borders. And since we last spoke, I've actually introduced legislation asking for those who are, especially the adult males that are being apprehended, that they stay in custody until we can do background checks, extensive background checks. Because right now, the only background check we can do on those crossing our borders illegally are through the FBI, through Americans' process.
Sure.
Well, that's not to say that they aren't actually, been convicted of a crime in either their country of origin or a transit country.
Sure.
And it's the double standard. Americans are held to a different standard. We have a sex offender registry. Mm-hmm. Everybody in government can know when you've paid your taxes, if you've paid your taxes. They know everything about you. And yet we're letting these people who choose to break the law come here illegally for for the whys and hows we don't know. But shouldn't we at least be aware of who's coming into our nation? And we can already point to several cases and points where those have come across illegally and then gone and committed violent crimes or murder against Americans who have been convicted or are under arrest in their home country. So we need to do a better job of understanding who's coming across the border.
Absolutely. And I don't know where people seem to have lost that it is reasonable to ask people, where they're coming and do background checks. If you as an American tried to become a citizen of any other country on the planet, there's a whole gauntlet of things you have to do that.
Absolutely.
Why should it not be different for folks that want to come be a part of this country as well? I'm not saying make it impossible, but what I'm saying is, there is a vetting process. If you want to come here, great. What are you bringing to the country? What are you wanting to do? What is your goals?
What's your
and
intention?
aspirations? Yeah.
And the thing of it is, now we're even putting more of a load on our law enforcement. I look to the sheriff's department here, the police department here. We know just by the numbers I was given. I was down at the border just a week ago. Again, my 4th trip down since I've been elected. They have seized enough fentanyl at the border, the southern border, to kill 1.4 billion people. I mean, we need to think about that. And I know they've seized over 150,000 pounds of methamphetamines, but look what's getting through.
Sure.
Look how busy, our law enforcement officers are already, coupled with what they do on a daily basis. And now we're releasing this catch and release. We're giving these people a piece of paper that says, come back to court now, between now and the next 8 years. Well, they're not going to come back, but we have no idea what kind of people we're allowing to run free in the interior, in our communities. And of course, that puts more of a burden also on our law enforcement.
Absolutely. And they're already taxed here on everything else that's going on in the world.
And
too,
my feeling is, let's give them the tools they need. Let's give them the funding they need as far as law enforcement. And let's ensure that we're supporting them and not putting more of a burden on their back. And this is exactly what this open border does, because the rural communities, I've had conversations with a number of law enforcement, the uptick in crime, the uptick in drug apprehension, with human smuggling. I mean, we've seen it across the board. And like you said, plus their day-to-day, keeping our communities safe, our streets safe. It's just compounding the already tough situation that our law enforcement face every day.
Absolutely. I mean, there's just got to be the way. Sure, the humanity side, absolutely. We want to make 100%. Sure everyone gets help and everything else, but realistically and everything else, there's got to be a process. There's got to be a way to do this. You just can't turn them loose, or what you said happened. You think life is tough right now. Wait till crime is unchecked, unvetted, because there really isn't a system to keep it in check.
Right. And the one thing I want to point to is, when we speak out, especially I speak out against the border all the time because of the porous border that we have. We should put the policies back in place that were working under the Trump administration. And then people go, well, you just don't like kids. You don't, your heart is hard. No, it is not. But do people even see what is happening to these children and families that are coming through a number of countries to get here illegally? I mean, the human smuggling, the abuse and neglect. And just last week, the child that was left by the smugglers on the side of the border, just screaming and crying for it. It's like, can you imagine having a 5-year-old child and just dropping it off at the border of, say, Arizona and New Mexico and just leaving? I mean, that's child abuse, in my opinion. And what makes me so mad is the sheer amount of money that the American taxpayers are paying for all the housing, the transportation, the food, the clothing, the medical attention. What's sad? We have veterans on our streets that are homeless. We have children in this district that are going to bed hungry at night, living in cars, living under bridges because the parents have fallen on hard times due to COVID. And yet this government wants to just turn the blind eye to that and just embrace those coming here. And again, it's illegal the way they're doing it. So, we've got such a crisis going on, and we've got to keep talking about it, because mainstream media is not so much talking about it so much. I'm still beating that drum, because obviously it's important to New Mexicans and Americans that we continue to make sure people know the truth.
Well, and let's face it, the media nowadays, it's got the squirrel mentality. And what I mean by that is, the dog, the movie, squirrel, they talk to the dog, and that's the media. I mean, and they have something going on crazy over here, but then something else happens over here and it's like squirrel, and they go there. And like you said, the real issue dies away because the sensationalism of it is now not as cool as whatever's going on over here.
Something else might be more fun to talk about, or it's breaking news. And sadly, I wish there were things happening in the news that were actually highlighting some good things for American people. Nothing has come out of this Congress that has been a benefit to the American business owner, the American worker. The policies are so dangerous, and it's happening just at a breakneck speed. And that's why I think it's important that we're talking about these issues.
Yeah.
And there's so many to talk about. And you know what? The one thing that I want people to understand is we're way past party affiliation. These are absolute policies that are going to have a profound effect on the American people. And it's I know there's been times when we've said, as Americans, as people, well, I don't have kids in school, so education's not my problem, or, I don't own a business, so business things are not my issue, or just, what have you. But now we're in a place right now where this is America's problem, and we've got to work together to just stabilize our economy and really salvage the country that we love, that we grew up in.
Absolutely. We're all cogs in the big wheel.
That's exactly right.
And, you may not think or believe that a cog way over in the other part of the wheel is something that you care about or is impacted by your life, but it is. I mean, like you said, with kids and everything. Okay, yeah, you don't have kids, but guess what? You don't plan on dying tomorrow. These kids are going to be the ones that are making decisions for us in the country.
That's
or
right.
Business owners, things. So I want them very smart so they make good decisions.
Right. I mean, these are kids that we hope to employ. And like you said, that is such a great point. Whether you have children in school or not, we need to be paying attention about the indoctrination that continues. And we're just seeing it so many places. We don't have a workforce right now. Why is that? I mean, we've got people now staying at home because the government is pushing them to be reliant on, these paychecks. And that is just incredibly dangerous.
Absolutely.
And we've got to ensure that, small businesses, it breaks my heart because I know a couple in my own town who somehow they managed to stay open through the COVID. And now that the COVID, it's starting to kind of expand where we can have open for business and our little small companies can get back together again and open their doors. And now they don't have a workforce. And so I actually have 2 people in my hometown that are going to be closing if this doesn't get resolved very quickly. So we've pushed on the governor to put the protocols back in play for the unemployment, which I think she's doing. But now they have such a disaster there with the mismanagement of the $250 million that came from the feds.
Yeah.
And this is what happens when the federal government just doles out these big fat checks to the individual states with no oversight. There's going to be fraud, waste, and abuse.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I want to, and this is a little off topic, but it is. And I'm kind of curious because yesterday they were, they were talking about the state map and everyone going turquoise. And now we're finally turquoise. We're done with the colors and all that. And they're saying, we're going to be this till whatever we stop colors.
Yeah.
And then I heard them talk in the news about federal emergency funding, and that might be a reason the state is not so quick to want to get these color system, because that admits we're not in an emergency anymore, which means we don't need the federal emergency funding. I mean,
that's right. We're rewarding states for bad behavior instead of opening up opportunity, getting people back to work, getting these small businesses operational. Again, the matrix was changed. And I think we talked about this months ago when they were doing that relief package back in February and March. They changed the matrix. And so really the states that had the higher unemployment rates were getting a bigger piece of the pie. And what we've done now is we've incentivized people to stay at home. And New Mexico, sadly, has one of the top 4 unemployment rates in the country.
Wow.
There's no reason for that. I mean, it doesn't matter what town, what kind of industry. They are all looking for help, whether it's restaurants, whether it's ag operations, whether it's manufacturing, truck driving, sales, you name it. There are jobs out there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We were just talking the other day on the radio here, the city, and they're talking about the aquatic and recreation center and how they're going to open the outdoor pool for the summer. But the problem is they can only have the outdoor pool open and the indoor closed, or the indoor,
one or the other,
because they need so many lifeguards to man the pool at any given time. And I think it's like 14 or 15. They only have like 17 total. So they just don't have the staffing to keep them both at the same time. And that's the city. I mean, and take that times 20 times every other business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's such a disservice to the communities that want to have the pool open, want to have the theater open, want to have some of these especially these outdoor opportunities or even indoor, but the putt golfs and all that. But here's what I say. I've had a couple of business owners call me and I've said, look, it is sad what is happening. So if I were you, I'd take a list of all your employees that won't come back and send those names to the Department of Workforce Solutions and say, hey, Susie Q here's job is waiting for her. If she's on a unemployment list, then you need to tell her to come back to work. And I mean, start pushing. And it's sad, though, that the burden has always been straight on the back of the small business owner, and they are the backbone of the economy. But that's the only thing I can think of. But I just don't get how people are I mean, I get it, hey, this big fat check at home or go to work. But at some point in time, there has to be a responsibility for these decisions. And I just can't see that many people willing to have had a relationship in a company or with their peers or with their bosses and then think somehow that it's okay to not come back. I mean, I think I'm just hopeful that soon some of our employees from all over the state will start going, you know what, I'd rather be a part of the solution than part of this problem, because we're not going to be able to sustain this, remain at home forever. No matter what the federal government thinks and no matter how much they're spending, it's not going to be sustainable.
Yeah, and it might be that point where it's at the Congress level where they say, all right, we got to cut the funding.
We're going to have to.
Yeah,
100%. Now all we've done, and they're and I think what they're trying to do is recover some of these this revenue from major tax increases. And I had an opportunity to dive into the new budget that the administration is bringing forth, but I can tell you top lines, the tax increases, and everything's still an attack on the things that we know and appreciate. For instance, our energy sector.
Sure.
Not only now is it an attack from the state level with this executive order that went into effect on the 1st of June that the governor did for the venting and flaring. It's the same squeeze that we're putting on them from the federal side, and it is just there's not an industry that is not being harmed, and I just say it harmed by the government. And that's why I'm saying it's everybody's problem now.
Right.
Because if you like to eat, then you need to be concerned about what's happening with dairy, with ag, with beef producers, with our growers. It should concern you. So it's, it doesn't matter if you're, not in that business of ag, but if you're eating, then it's a problem. You need to be aware, kids in school, the whole bit. Now there's not one entity that I can think of that is not being somehow harmed by the federal government, and the states are piling on too.
Well, really, at the end of the day, it's the adage, there's no such thing as free money. There never is. There never will be. I don't care who tells you what, there never is.
That's right.
So all the stimulus checks, all the free money that you've got over the last year, the bills come due. It's time to pay the bill.
Yeah.
And the only way we pay that bill is get back to work and get our economy moving again. And guess what? That's why all your taxes, guess what? The money's not free. It's coming from somewhere. You're paying for it now.
Yeah.
They're going to jack up your taxes. There's no such thing as free money.
And when you just look around the communities and look around the state, look around the country, I see lots and lots of little children, 5 and under, 10 years and younger. And I'm telling you right now, for the sake of the future of our country, go back to work, because those are the kids that are going to be saddled with this debt, with this, pay to stay at home or take advantage of the government's ability to pay extra money. The kids that aren't even at work age yet, those are the ones that are going to be stuck paying the debt of the decisions that are being made right now.
Sure.
And so for the sake of our country in the future, let's do our part in getting back to work and saving the nation and saving the ability for our children to have the same opportunities of prosperity and good that we had.
It takes all of us, and we got to get up and work to do that. And the things we enjoy, the freedoms, the things we love and we want to fight for, they aren't free, and they take work to have them.
That's exactly right.
We got to get back to our place of work so we can get back to those things again.
Yes,
so
100%.
I do want to touch, since we last spoke, a lot's happened in the cybersecurity, Russian hacking, pipeline and all this going on. I know there's been quite a bit. The pipeline kind of started the first, and then
Colonial
I think,
pipeline,
and I think they ended up paying the ransom, the company, and all that. But I think there's been other attempts and cyber attacks since then.
Yeah,
in other fields and industries.
There was, in fact, just earlier in the week, there are 4 big companies that do all the processing for our beef production. And one of those big 4 was hacked. I don't know now if they've paid a ransom or not, but what I can tell you is the ranking member, in fact, not the ranking member, the chairman of the Oversight Committee, Congresswoman Maloney, has already now pushed for oversight to bring in these companies so that we can find out why are they getting attacked? What can we be doing?
Sure.
Why aren't there protocols in place? And I think this is just the beginning of a new trend.
Yeah.
And especially Colonials. Here's what I do want people to understand. The security breach with Colonial didn't start this rising gas price. I mean, the prices were already on their way up.
Sure.
But it did bring to awareness of, okay,
How vulnerable we are.
Exactly. And I have heard through conversations in D.C., there's opportunity, but these hacks are not going to waste their time with, say, hospitals or some of these other organizations that don't really have the funds behind them. But the Colonial Pipeline absolutely did, and this meatpacking plant absolutely does. And so there has been already talk, and I know Chairman Maloney has already pushed for some oversight committee hearings on that as well. And so something else, it just, when it rains, it pours, and right now we're in the storm of a lifetime.
And I don't know, and you may not understand either, because I'm just kind of curious. Is as far as the protocol goes on who's in charge of what and all that, because obviously the pipeline, it's run by private companies. It's worked by private companies, and everything's done by private companies because that's their business. That's what they do. Obviously, what they do impacts us as a country and us as a people. But government insight, overstep, there's always checks and balances. What you do, what you can do. Yeah. But as far as security of that type of thing, is still the onus on the company there, or does the government get involved there? I don't know.
I think that it really is, because you're right. These are private entities, private companies. And it's just like what happens it's happened to so many individuals where, all of a sudden your whole computer system's been hacked and you have to pay or whatever. And I think it's not that the government, I don't think, should get involved in, but I do think that they should bring awareness. So is there, and then this is just very generic conversation. Are there policies that we can do that would be helpful? Or is there a way, and this is an oxymoron, but is there something the feds can do to help? Or would it be more of a hindrance? But I think the curiosity of why, and is this going to be a trend that, like I said, that we're going to start seeing, and what can we do? And maybe I don't know if it's going to be more on the scale of punishment for those that are doing the hacking, doing the violating, and then if they're caught, or if it's going to be, are there things in terms of agreements that the federal government can help with? I don't know.
Sure.
But there's enough of it now happening that, and think about it, those are just the two ginormous ones, but we've seen it now, with Target last year, a couple of banks, Colonial, and it could be something that we're just not going to be able to get to the bottom of, but we're going to have a better backstop, if you will, for some type of computer software that would actually, and that's probably going to be the new thing that's going to be.
I mean, I think, when we talk about government intervention on some of the security things, I mean, it's one thing when we're talking about even money, and I'm not trying to say money's not, because it very much is, but when we start getting to where it's impacting infrastructure, like our power, water, fuel.
Well, that's what I think the concern is. I mean,
government maybe should be a little bit more involved in there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
At least aware, because I'm with you, because you start talking about the electric grids, water, you talk about infrastructure with water systems, sewer systems, all of these kinds of things. I think it kind of raises the red flag. I don't know what the fix is, but at least that awareness, that conversation, and I'm not enough engaged in it to know, okay, what can we do? And that's why I think I really believe it will be helpful to have the conversation with some of these big companies that are now experiencing this, because they may come to the table and say it could have been prohibited, or we could have missed this if we would have done A, B, or C, or if the government did that or this. But I know it's a fine line, because I'm a person of limited government and letting free markets and capitalism work for the American people.
Absolutely.
But I do think that we still have to work to save and
help
preserve
to keep it a playing field that's level for everybody.
The health, safety, and welfare, and that to me even includes some of this computer hacking that's going on. So I'm curious about it. So I'm hopeful that they get those meetings set up.
I think this is something we as a country have to really start thinking about.
It's a reality that we live in now, and again. What do we need to do? I don't have the answer today, but I am hopeful that I think it would be very enlightening to sit down in a committee hearing with some of these and just kind of,
say, hey, what are we doing here?
Best steps. What could we have done? What could we do different? What help do you need? And we'll see.
Because I guess the thing, and unfortunately, because we talk about private entities paying ransoms. I know we talk U.S. government terrorists, like we don't negotiate with terrorists and all. I said this is private sector; it's a different different
Different
ideology.
ballgame. Yeah.
But there is the fear now. It's like you gave in there. It worked for whoever tried to do it.
No.
What's next?
I wish
know?
they didn't. Yeah. And, I'm not the company owner. I'm
That's
not
a scary thought.
A stockholder and all that. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I wasn't intimately involved in it, but it is scary to think, okay, they paid it.
Uh-huh.
And, had they not, what would it looked like? I don't know. And so it is worth, I think, at least a meaningful conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah. For the sake of really world kind, not just the United States,
Exactly.
but the entire planet.
Yep.
So, I know we're probably getting a little short on time here for you. Is there anything we want to make sure that why we got you here that we wanted to get out to people?
Well, I'm just still so honored to be in the position I'm in, and I think it's just been incredible the people that we've been able to keep in touch with, and the different industries and the things happening that are being affected in around the district, policies and even Mother Nature. I'm so blessed to have such a great staff on the ground in New Mexico and also in DC, and where the rain was very welcomed. The other day, I know there were some property owners that experienced some losses, and I'm just they're in our prayers, and so we want to make sure that we're grateful for the rain, but also paying attention to some. I mean, it's one of those things. You finally get some rain, and then it kind of turns
Careful
into
what
a
you
bit
wish for,
yeah,
right?
it kind of turns into a little bit of a disaster. But you know what? Grateful for that rain. We sure need it.
Absolutely.
And we're just going to keep working hard for the people of New Mexico, the people of America. Like I said earlier, I don't feel like this is a partisan thing anymore. I think we need to be making good things happen for Americans, for
Absolutely.
New Mexicans, and having those conversations. And that's what we've been doing. And I'm just so honored, and just really appreciate the time to get to come in and just visit about what's going on.
Well, we do. We love sitting down and having you chit chat with us. Oh, I know what I meant to ask you. Last time, I think it was in April we talked, because it was right before the cicadas were starting.
Oh my God!
Now that you were in DC, did you see them while you're there and all that mess?
So for anybody that doesn't remember, so there was supposed to be this 20-year high, and there were supposed to be millions of these things, and we don't have very many of those.
Not
I mean, I'm not
it's
super
not like
familiar.
back there.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this, and it's a beast. Okay, it's just ugly. The beautiful part is, and I'm so grateful, I have seen them. Most of the ones I've seen have been already dead on the sidewalk or whatever. So it wasn't the big swarms.
The hordes of
But
them?
let me just share with you, I didn't spend a lot of time outside either.
This is true.
So, and I'm hopeful by the time I get done in being in district and go back to DC,
they're
back
gone, hibernating.
Yeah, that's kind of where but they're ugly.
It's a bit unnerving.
Well, and it is. And I kept thinking, I played it out in my mind. If one touches me, what will I act like? And probably like some little kid screaming, but so far so good. But I have seen them. They're very ugly.
Yeah.
But I think in some areas of DC, because I was asking around, asking
seen
people,
them?
and people would say, oh my gosh, they're everywhere. And I thought, well, they're not everywhere on the street that I live in, so I'm not going to venture very far from my house to the Capitol and back, because I knew it was pretty safe.
I think the most creepiest one I've ever spot was, and this was it was probably 20 years ago when I last. I went back to visit family, and we all went out to the Air and Space Museum out at Dulles. Out there. And so we're walking around. They got, of course, big parking lots and everything. And then they got, every little parking area that has the little medians or whatever, they've got trees.
Yeah, they do. Tons of trees.
Yeah. And every single one of those was packed with thousands. And you just walk around and you just hear that noise. And it was like an Alfred Hitchcock movie. That was the one time I'm like, let's get in the building. It's
creepy.
Yeah.
I know. And then what was really weird, and I don't really watch a lot of news out there, because it's usually not on when I'm at home, but I did catch it one evening and they were talking about those things. And then this is kind of weird to me. People were sending in pictures of those things. And it's like, oh my gosh. Okay, so I knew what to look for, but they're very creepy looking. And what was funny is there actually were quite a few between the office building and the Capitol. And because it's so beautiful that weather, we just run across the street, but there would be a bunch of them. And I thought, okay, but they were mostly dead, almost all of them dead on the sidewalk. But I thought, okay, if one touches me, this may not turn out well.
Well, then you got now Walking Dead and all these zombie shows. So something like that, like that thing going back to life. I saw Walking Dead.
What, they're not. We're just blessed we don't have them out here. It's like a black grasshopper looking thing.
No, we got our own fair share of weird bugs out here.
I mean, but they're pretty gross. But anyway, yes, but I have survived. I have survived, so I'm so thankful.
Excellent. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. And I do appreciate, you spending a few minutes here with us. Of course, folks, if you have questions or anything, don't hesitate to contact our office. Shoot an email, get to the website, all that good stuff.
It's Herrell, HERRELL .house.gov.
Okay.
And that's where we can, you can sign up for our emails. You can sign up. You can send me a request. There's phone numbers there. It talks about our locations here and in Las Cruces. And then I'm going to tell you, our team has done a remarkable job at the mobile office hours. Brandon, Kim, all of them. They'll be in Carlsbad. They'll be up in Santa Rosa. They'll be everywhere. So we've really, you know what? I can't say it enough. I'm so proud of our team and for just being accessible to the community. And I think
absolutely
people understand that they're just an extension of me. And, I still have my same cell phone number, my same email address. So I didn't change any of that.
Well, as a dumb DJ that tries to wrangle your folks and everything from time to time, it's been nice to have you and your staff easily approachable and available.
Thank you.
A couple of years prior to that wasn't the case. I hadn't seen Congress people come through since Congressman Pierce. So
yeah,
it's nice to have you come back.
Well, we're doing it, and I just think, like I said, to me, it's past party. It's about people, and it always has been like that for me. And I just think there's too many things we can really be working on together. And I appreciate getting the insight and the input, and it just makes me a better representative of the people, and that's what we ran on. And so I'm grateful and still just so honored to have this position.
Well, we don't work too hard. Try to get a day off every now and then.
I'll try, but I mean, that scheduler of mine, dadgum him, he just keeps me busy.
Yeah, maybe we can distract him.
Yeah, we'll do that.
There you go.
We'll do that. Give him an apple.
There we go.
Give one of those apples.
We got some apples here
there you
for
go.
you. So, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Okay.
You bet.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care. It is time. Take a quick break. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. Don't go away.
Stockholder and all that. So I don't know, I wasn't intimately involved in it, but it is scary to think, okay, they paid it. And, had they not, what would have looked like? I don't know. And so it is worth, I think, at least a meaningful conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah. For the sake of really world kind, not just the United States, but the entire planet.
Yep.
So, I know we're probably getting a little short on time here for you. Is there anything we want to make sure that why we got you here that we wanted to get out to people?
Well, I'm just still so honored to be in the position I'm in, and I think it's just been incredible to the people that we've been able to keep in touch with, and the different industries and the things happening that are being affected in around the district, policies and even Mother Nature. I'm so blessed to have such a great staff on the ground in New Mexico and also in DC. And, where the rain was very welcomed. The other day, I know there were some property owners that experienced some losses, and I'm just, they're in our prayers. And so we want to make sure that we're, grateful for the rain, but also paying attention to some, it's one of those things. You finally get some rain and then it kind of turns
Careful
into
what you wish for,
yeah,
right?
it kind of turns into a little bit of a disaster. But you know what? Grateful for that rain. We sure need it.
Absolutely.
And we're just going to keep working hard for the people of New Mexico, the people of America. Like I said earlier, I don't feel like this is a partisan thing anymore. I think we need to be making good things happen for Americans, for New Mexicans, and having those conversations. And that's what we've been doing. And I'm just so honored and just really appreciate the time to get to come in and just visit about what's going on.
Well, we do. We love sitting down and having you chit chat with us. Oh, I know what I meant to ask you. Last time, I think it was in April we talked, because it was right before the cicadas were starting.
Oh my God!
Now that you were in DC, did you see them while you're there and all that mess?
So for anybody that doesn't remember, so there was supposed to be this 20-year high, and there were supposed to be millions of these things, and we don't have very many of those.
It's
super
not like
familiar.
back there.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this, and it's a beast. Okay, it's just ugly. The beautiful part is, and I'm so grateful, I have seen them. Most of the ones I've seen have been already dead on the sidewalk or whatever. So it wasn't the big swarms.
The hordes of them.
But let me just share with you, I didn't spend a lot of time outside either.
This is true.
So, and I'm hopeful by the time I get done in being in district and go back to DC,
they're
back
gone. Hibernating.
Yeah, that's kind of where but they're ugly.
It's a bit unnerving.
Well, and it is. And I kept thinking, I played it out in my mind. If one touches me, what will I act like? And probably like some little kid screaming. But so far, so good. But I have seen them. They're very ugly.
Yeah.
But I think in some areas of DC, because I was asking around, have you asking
seen
people, and people would say, "Oh my gosh, they're everywhere." And I thought, well, they're not everywhere on the street that I live in, so I'm not going to venture very far from my house to the Capitol and back because I knew it was pretty safe.
I think the most creepiest one I've ever spot was, and this was it was probably 20 years ago. Whenever last, I went back to visit family, and we all went out to the Air and Space Museum out at Dulles. Out there. And so we're walking around. They got, of course, big parking lots and area, and then they got, every little parking area that has the little medians or whatever. They've got trees.
Yeah, they do tons of trees.
Yeah, and every single one of those was packed with thousands, and you just walk around and you just hear that that noise, and it was like an Alfred Hitchcock movie. That was the one time I'm like, let's get in the building. It's
creepy.
Yeah,
I know. And then what was really weird, and I don't really watch a lot of news out there. Because it's usually not on when I'm at home, but I did catch it one evening and they were talking about those things. And then this is kind of weird to me. People were sending in pictures of those things. And it's like, oh my gosh. Okay, so I knew what to look for, but they're very creepy looking. And what was funny is there actually were quite a few between the office building and the Capitol. And because it's so beautiful that weather, we just run across the street, but there would be a bunch of them. And I thought, okay. But they were mostly dead, almost all of them dead on the sidewalk. But I thought, okay, if one touches me, this may not turn out well.
Well, then you got now Walking Dead and all these zombie shows. So something like that, that thing could go back to life. I saw Walking Dead.
What, they're not. We're just blessed we don't have them out here. It's like a black grasshopper looking thing.
No, we got our own fair share of weird bugs out here.
I mean, but they're pretty gross. But anyway, yes, but I have survived. I have survived, so I'm so thankful.
Excellent. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. And I do appreciate you spending a few minutes here with us. Of course, folks, if you have questions or anything, don't hesitate to contact our office, shoot an email, get to the website, all that good stuff.
It's Herrell, HERRELL .house.gov.
Okay.
And that's where we can, you can sign up for our emails. You can sign up. You can send me a request. There's phone numbers there. It talks about our locations here and in Las Cruces. And then I'm going to tell you, our team has done a remarkable job at the mobile office hours. Brandon, Kim, all of them. They'll be in Carlsbad. They'll be up in Santa Rosa. They'll be everywhere. So we've really, you know what? I can't say it enough. I'm so proud of our team and for just being accessible to the community. And I think
absolutely
people understand that they're just an extension of me. And, I still have my same cell phone number, my same email address. So I didn't change any of that.
Well, as a dumb DJ that tries to wrangle your folks and everything from time to time, it's been nice to have you and your staff easily approachable and available.
Thank you.
A couple years prior to that wasn't the case. I hadn't seen Congress people come through since Congressman Pierce. So it was nice to have you come back.
Well, we're doing it, and I just think, like I said, to me, it's past party. It's about people, and it always has been like that for me. And I just think there's too many things we can really be working on together. And I appreciate getting the insight and the input, and it just makes me a better representative of the people. And that's what we ran on. And so I'm grateful and still just so honored to have this position.
Well, we don't work too hard. Try to get a day off every now and then.
I'll try, but I mean, that scheduler of mine, dadgum him. He just keeps me busy.
Yeah, maybe we can distract him.
Yeah, we'll do that.
There you go.
We'll do that. Give him an apple.
There we go.
Give one of those apples.
We got some apples here
there you
for
go.
you. So, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Okay.
You bet. Thank you.
Take care. It is time to take a quick break. We'll be back here.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cirillo. The Eddy County Sheriff's Office is congratulating Deputy Ryan Kinnikin and Deputy Josh Herrera for their graduation from the Southeastern Law Enforcement Academy. Deputy Kinnikin graduated with the Academic Award and also broke the long-standing record for most continuous sit-ups at 310. Deputy Herrera was pinned by his little brother, Sam Fodge. Kinnikin was pinned by Sergeant Amy Dugas of the Eddy County Sheriff's Office. The Gila Cliff Dwellings National Monument will close this weekend while crews continue efforts to contain a wildfire in the Gila National Forest. The National Park Service said Thursday that the cliff dwellings will shut down at 8 a.m. Saturday and until further notice. The lightning-caused fire, which was first reported May 20th, has burned roughly 60 square miles. Firefighters will also conduct burnout operations west of the cliff dwellings on the so-called Johnson Fire. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Continue hiring,
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
Last month, PNC Financial Services Group Chief Economist Gus Fauché says that some employers are having a tough time filling openings.
Construction workers, there's a shortage there. Manufacturing workers, that continues to be an issue. Tech workers in general. So they're having some difficulty in finding workers. That being said, we do see wages rising. I think we'll be able to pull in some workers from the sidelines over the next year or so. And I expect that job growth will remain pretty good throughout the rest of 2021 and into 2022.
The jobless rate fell to 5.8% last month. With the U.S. preparing to withdraw forces from Afghanistan, China appears ready to fill the vacuum, Beijing advocating closer security and economic cooperation between China and Afghanistan. Democrats facing a lot of pushback over their election reform plans, and much of the resistance coming from within their own party.
It's not only Republicans who oppose S1, the broad Senate bill that would federalize elections. West Virginia Democrat Joe Manchin already is on record against the bill as being too broad. Majority Leader Schumer must now work toward a compromise in his own party if he's to fulfill his promise of action on S1 by the end of the month. Democrats insist their rewrite of election laws is needed to safeguard voting rights. Republicans say the bill is designed to favor Democrats in all future elections. Bob Agnew reporting.
House Democrats propose spending about $547 billion over 5 years on roads, public transit systems, and rail programs, but the proposal does not address how to pay for the projects. Stocks are higher on Wall Street, with the Dow up 89 points, and NASDAQ 147 points higher, and the S&P is up 25. More on these stories, townhall.com.
I have two dogs, Sam and Bailey. Both are golden retrievers. Poor Sam, he was a mess. Always itching. His paws were soaking wet all day from just constant licking. He had bald spots on his back. I just don't like putting shots and steroids into your dog all the time. DINOVITE.com. Dynovite is nutrition. Probably 2 weeks after he started Dynovite, I started seeing great improvements. And today, 99% of his issues are non-existent. It's amazing stuff. Since Bailey has been 12 weeks old, he's been a Dynovite dog, and he has zero issues today. He won't eat his food without Dynovite. When I get out the Dynovite, my dogs actually salivate, like I'm getting them a treat. They drool over it. Dynovite is the best thing you can do for your dog.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dynovite from DINOVITE.com.
Finance ministers of the EU's four largest economies say a deal is within reach to establish a new international tax system, one that's designed to stop tax avoidance by large multinational businesses.
International negotiations on the reform of business taxation have gained new momentum under President Biden and his Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. They've given their support to both the main strands in the talks. She has proposed a minimum rate of corporate tax of 15% and is willing to ensure some of the big technology companies pay more tax in the countries where their users are. Britain, along with several other nations, has already gone ahead with its own digital tax, but is willing to amend it if there is an international deal.
The BBC's Andrew Walker. The head of the International Chemical Weapons Watchdog says its experts have investigated 77 allegations against Syria, including that in 17 cases chemical weapons were likely or definitely used. Townhall.com. There's fresh hope for women suffering breast cancer.
A pill has been shown to help keep certain early-stage, hard-to-treat breast cancers at bay after initial treatment. Study results were released by the American Society of Clinical Oncology. Lynparza, a pill marketed by AstraZeneca and Merck, is already sold in the United States and elsewhere for treating some widely spread breast cancers. The new study tested it in patients with earlier stage disease after standard surgery and chemotherapy. Independent monitors advised releasing the results early after seeing clear benefit from Lynparza. Keith Peters reporting.
China protesting President Biden's expansion of a list of Chinese companies whose shares are off limits to American investors because of their purported links to the Chinese military and surveillance activities. Let's get on Wall Street this hour. The Dow is up 81 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number, and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ, the demolition. What does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Our computer last hour, my apologies, did a Monday on a Friday. And the EAS went off, and then it just locked up, and so there was a little bit of delay on the radio compared to the video.
Yeah.
So the video folks are like, hey, why am I hearing the more? Sorry about that. It's always my fault because I'm the host, but I'm gonna pawn this off on this computer punching out on me.
See, I don't understand that logic.
Well, it's my show. It's the host, and something's wrong on it.
Yeah, but I subscribe to the school of thought that it's never my fault because I'm the host.
Oh, no.
I'm in charge, so I say whose fault it is, and it's not my fault.
I'll take blame to look like I'm taking the high road, and then I will say, we'll see what happened here.
So what you did was you fell on a sword, but it was a play sword. I see what you did there.
Exactly.
Nice. Well played, sir.
It's all about how you present.
It's the prestige. You hand them a sandwich. Dude, that is my favorite. Have you ever heard that? With the whole presentation. And I think it was from Community, actually.
I was going to say, I think I remember that.
Pierce. He goes, you hand them a sandwich.
I remember that, yeah.
I love
because you
that.
said it, and I'm like, that sounds familiar. Where am I hearing that from?
Yeah,
Community.
it was Pierce from Community.
Yeah.
You hand them a sandwich. That's such a great way to put that.
Well, that's why I love the Vegas dealers when they're done and they do the whole...
Oh, yeah. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, I love that. Because, really, do I think you slipped a card up your sleeve or something,
Nothing up here.
But because, it's just tradition or whatever at this point, there's a gazillion cameras. You think that, that's when you're going to slip one by them? But, I just,
cute when
I
they
love
just
it.
go, I mean, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is supposed to do. Is that going to shake loose cards out of your...
Maybe it's to wake you up. It's like if you're in your drunken stupor, it's like, hey, dummy. New guy dealing.
You know what it could be? It honestly could be like when football players or whatever leave the dressing room, the
locker room.
Yeah, the locker room. Thank you. Wow, the locker room, and they
somebody's a thespian instead of an athlete.
That's what it is. Stage left. No, but they smack the sign on the way up. Maybe that's just like their. It's like their tradition. It could very well be.
Do you think it even could be? And this is a little bit of a deep dive, but for Friends fans, do you think it's like a variation of the Friends? Yes.
It could be. I mean, screw you, I'm out.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a variation of that. Like, my shift's over. I'm going to get wasted. Have a nice day.
Could very well be.
But one of my favorite things to do that I don't do very often is to do that move when I just leave for various reasons. It's like, all right, dinner's done. Have a nice day, everybody. And then walk out.
And then just leave. Wordlessly leave. You'll never understand the impact you can have until you wordlessly leave a room. It really does. I always feel like I have to go back and explain myself. Like, okay, so here's what happened.
But then you lose the whole effect.
You do. But,
yeah, you went from... Dude, that was cool. And then you come back and say, oh, never mind.
Yeah. Cool people walk away from explosions, but I'd be that guy that walked back and be like, okay, so here's why it exploded.
Yeah. Why do you think everyone loves the bad boy in the Breakfast Club? He's walking away. It's like, ooh, he's mysterious. Even though he broke down and cried for us, he's still mysterious. You know what I mean?
Those were tears of anger and tears of angst.
You still didn't think any more of, what's his name? What was that kid's name? He's not kid now. He's older than me. The guy from 16 Candles and all that. He was in that movie. Johnny B. Good. What is that guy's name?
Anthony Michael Hall.
Yes.
Couldn't think. It's like I had. Sometimes I have to stop my brain in order for the word to come into my brain.
Yeah.
Like locker room.
Yeah, like Anthony. We didn't care more for him.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I'm telling you, it's all about the.
Yeah, look at Ricky Schroeder. It's like, he sort of had that like boyish good looks.
I wonder what he's up to now, Ricky Schroeder.
I'm sure he's just riding.
So you said that, and I'm thinking like he did the NYPD Blue.
Yeah, well,
and that was like the last big thing he did, right?
No, he did something else. He had like his own crime drama series, I think on USA for like 4 seasons. But then completely he went away.
Well, you remember his original?
Yeah, Silver Spoons.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming he's still probably riding out on Silver Spoons royalty checks.
I wonder.
Or Breakfast Club.
How long was that show on, though? Now that I think about it.
Seasons.
Yeah. I remember. Childhood crush on his mom.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. She was fetching.
Okay, Google. I remember the show just because I did the show, but I don't remember.
And I think if I remember right, the mom was also the female lead in Buck Rogers.
Wow.
She was still fetching in that too. I think.
Okay. Evelyn Bludorn?
Show me the picture.
Hey, I'm trying to find a picture. Just her. Oops. Hold on. By the way, thank you, McDonald's, for providing fantastic.
Well, I'll get you there. We'll talk.
Well, I was just trying to chew the.
No, I'm trying to think.
Chew the clock.
That's the one.
Yeah, she's got kind of a. You know who she kind of looks like is Elizabeth. What's her name? Jessie Spano.
Oh, okay.
Elizabeth Hurley? Is that her name? No, that's
no.
Anyway, she looks like
I know who you're talking
Jessie Spano from Saved by the Bell. She has that face about her.
Also, look her up. Do they have a Buck Rogers picture of her? Because she wore the spacesuits that were a little more. I was a young lad. I preferred her in Buck Rogers versus Silver Spoons.
I was like, this morning's show won't continue until I get to see Evelyn Bludorn and Buck Rogers.
Well, just when you said it, I was like, oh yeah, I used to find her fetching back in the day as a wee lad.
Let's see.
But I remember she was the female lead in Buck Rogers.
Oh
too.
Yeah, a skin tight suit like that can do things to a young boy.
A boy in the 80s.
To a young lad. It's just great that it says beady beady beady.
Although that's no, that's right. He was Twiggy. That was Mel Blanc. Was the voice of Twiggy.
Was it really?
Yeah, Mel Blanc was the voice of Twiggy.
I did not know that.
Uh-huh.
The man of 1,000 voices.
Yeah, it's Mel
Blanc.
Blanc.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's Mel. And then when you listen to him do stuff, you're actually like, okay, I hear Mel Blanc.
And that's the thing is, when you work in voice and when you work in vocal, you tend to pick up on certain nuances and certain things that people do. Like Billy West, I can almost always pick up on his voices. Same thing with Joe DiMaggio. Yeah, same thing. But yeah, Mel Blanc, he's got this specific nasal quality about his voice. So
yeah, Twiggy was Mel Blanc. The voice of Mel Blanc.
I have to go back and check that out again.
I would. It's kind of because the reason I remember because one like KTEL or one of those channels shows Buck Rogers at like 11 o'clock at night. And really? I remember it was a Friday or Saturday night. I was flipping channels like, nuh-uh. And I put on there, and sure enough, there was Buck Rogers. And and then I hear the Twiggy, and I was like, dang, it is Mel Blanc. Now all I hear is Mel Blanc. Back when it was on, I didn't know him any better. But now as an adult brain watching it, by the way, it does not hold up. But
you gotta imagine, how can you sit for more than 10 minutes of a Buck Rogers? That feels...
Well, it was based off the movie. There was a Buck Rogers movie, and they spun and Gil Gerard was Buck Rogers, and then Gil Gerard played Buck Rogers on the TV show, and then Erin, or whatever her name was,
Evelyn Bludorn,
was his sidekick on that. Yeah,
neat.
Yeah,
I have a hard time on any of those shows. It's like I know that I could genuinely enjoy if I sat down and watched an episode of F Troop, probably, but it's a stretch.
No, I would. You know what though? But I learned, because all those shows were like the reruns during the day, like in the morning. So like you'd watch your cartoons, and then of course they showed like the My Three Sons and I Love Lucy. But in the early Nickelodeon days, they would have like marathons of the Phil Silvers show and all of that. And the only reason I'm like, and for folks that, well, even now young people wouldn't know this, but my age people that are like, who's Phil Silvers? He was a comedian. He did a sketch comedy show back in the day. But one of his characters, one of his big dudes was Sergeant Bilko. The Steve Martin 90s movie. That was one of Phil Silver's characters from the Phil Silver Show.
Gotcha.
And so he did the Sergeant Bilko bit on there and all this. And so I watched it because I remember seeing the Bilko movie coming out like when I was a teenager, and I was like, oh yeah, this is the TV show. So and at F Troop, I watched some of those, a couple of those, and those were goofy fun too. And I mean, they were black and white, but in those days, it didn't matter to me because the television I was watching it on was black and white.
Right.
It was my like my grandmother. She'd go watch her stories, and then she sent me to the bedroom to watch the TV, and it was a little 13-inch black and white. And the way this TV worked, and old school tube model, of course. This ain't no plasma nonsense we got now. Even better. This one was an older set.
Oh.
So it had to warm up. And so for the first 3 minutes, the picture screen would just like scroll, kind of like the
tracking on a VHS.
No. Well, it had that, but it spun. The whole picture spun. Think of like think of The Price is Right, the wheel spin.
Really?
And so the screen would just go and it'd do that for about 2-3 minutes, and then it starts slowing down, and then it would kind of go to a point where the line would be like, and then you have half a picture, and then finally it would settle into the picture.
I remember the rotation, but it was never quite as dramatic as you're describing it, at least that I remember.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I do remember the bounce back where it would go down and then back up. Right.
Yeah. And so I would sit there, and then like in the afternoons, when she let me in there to watch TV, I would see the old black and white Superman television show.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I would watch that, and the one with I can't remember the actor's name now. The one who killed himself. I can't remember his name now. But who played Superman there? Not Christopher Reeves.
No.
It was I can't remember the guy's name. But anyway, I used to watch that, and so I kind of had a toe in some of those older 50s and shows that I just watched in reruns during the day, and so I have a knowledge of them.
Do you remember the show? And this is obscure, but do you remember the show "Wait Till Your Father Gets Home"?
I remember the title. I don't remember much about
and
the
that's
show.
The thing is, I don't really remember the show either, but I vividly remember the opening.
Yeah.
Because I think it started as an animated show. Like it was like a cartoon.
There was like
show.
wait till your father gets home.
Wait
like there was
till your father gets, until your father gets, wait till your father gets home. Yeah, I vividly remember that song. I don't know why that's what sticks out in my head, but that's like the show that sticks. Like when I think of that era of TV, that's the show that I keep
And so
going back to.
when you say that, I think of another show that was on in the middle of the day. That was probably an evening primetime show at one time that lasted for a couple seasons.
Sure.
But it was back when they were showing reruns of The Love Boat during the day. And so the Love Boat would come on at 12 in the afternoon or something like that. But then after The Love Boat was this other show that was kind of in the same vein, but it was called
Sip Side 6.
Love American Style.
Love American Style.
Yeah. Something about the red, white, and blue. Yeah. And it always ended with a couple falling in love, and then there's fireworks to simulate the moment of amour. But it was the whole. And I just remember, I don't remember any of the plots, but I remember the Love American Style, the song, and I remember it was really cheesy, even in my child-sized brain. It was still pretty stupid.
Now this is where I kind of age things a couple of decades. Like as far as intro music goes, I literally to this day know every word to the opening theme of the show Hey Dude.
Which one? I don't
remember.
It was
a Nickelodeon show from late way early 90s.
Yeah.
People who are my age will remember this show. It was a real live action show about a group of kids who worked at a dude ranch.
Okay.
It was called Hey Dude. I literally remember every word to that.
I've got a bunch of those rattling around in my head. I hit you with one a couple months ago.
Yeah, it's never going to serve me any purpose, but I could bust it out if on command.
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay. It's kind of sad what our brains choose to hold on to, isn't it?
The one I'm least proud of is this one, and I've told you this one. Clap your hands, everybody, and everybody clap your hands.
I don't know why you're ashamed of that.
Lambda, lambda, am, omega, mu. We come here on stage tonight to put on a show for you. We got Poindexter on the violin, and Lewis and Gilbert will be joining him. We got, Booger Presley on the main guitar, and rapping along, little me Lamar. And out comes a 4 foot. I don't remember the rest after that, but that's.
remember, better watch out for them man-eating jackrabbits and that killer cacti. Hey, dude, there's no pride in that. That takes that's skill.
I hope there's a bunch of people around my age going, I love Revenge of the Nerds.
No, here's the thing. There are people screaming at their radios finishing that rap right now.
I ain't gonna lie. When they got Poindexter all slicked up and he's got the violin, he's going, and I was like, that's pretty bad.
They knew what they were doing.
So 80s.
Yeah, it really is.
Timothy Busfield, by the way, was Poindexter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Might later known him from West Wing and a bunch of other stuff, too. All right, 8:20. We got more of this hour. I got to thank the fine folks at McDonald's, as they do each and every Friday. Provide us with delicious breakfast treats. I had me my hash brown. Tanner, perfect tea to ice ratio for me this morning, whipping on my iced tea. And big thank you. Swing by. They got you covered. You know what? Last week we tried the blue raspberry slushies. Loved it. Give those a try. Come on bound. I don't know. Get the app. That's my favorite. I download the app and look, and they always have special deals. Boom, go through, order. You can pick up through there, order through the app, and pick up curbside, drive through, or come in and get it. They got you covered. Or sit down and enjoy. But either way, download the app. It's free and great way to enjoy your visit at McDonald's. All right, it is 8:21. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Dry air coming into our area today, so it doesn't look like we'll be getting any rain. We'll keep the sunshine and our afternoon high in the mid to upper 80s and a little bit breezy. Overnight, partly cloudy in low 60s, and then we heat up a little bit tomorrow with highs in the low 90s, breezy and sunny. Turning cloudy on Saturday night, then we're quickly back to sunshine on Sunday, highs in the mid 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Someone just sent me another one, and we're going to talk about this one. You can't that out on television. Yeah, that was another one, a big time. I heard that. I don't know. 67 degrees here at Roswell. Humidity is at 71%. Winds currently out of the south at 9 miles per hour. Sunny today. Enjoy it. 88 our expected high today, but it will get warmer as the days progress here. But sunny, 88 today. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Expect an overnight low of 63. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For the weekend, we will warm up. Some love it, some not so much. I'm in the not so much, but I know I'm not. I know there's a lot of people disagree, but so you'll love this. Sunny skies, a high of 94 tomorrow. South winds 5 to 15. Partly cloudy tomorrow night with an overnight low of 63. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny and hot highs near the century mark. Yeah, 99 the official high on Sunday. South winds 5 to 10. And next week, don't get no better. Sunny and hot, high of 98 on Monday. Tuesday, sunny, high of 101. For Wednesday, sunny high of 104. Thursday, sunny high of 104. So enjoy that 88 today because it's rising after today. All right, it is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a commercial break. And then we'll chit-chat some more on the other side. No guests this hour, so we're going to chit-chat and talk about food. And you can't do that on television. We're going to bring that up because I know Sean has a bit of history on that. And Andrew just reminded me of it. So I got to get it out. Sorry. We'll do that on the other side.
When you need an oil change, but you don't want to sit at the shop all day, call Nazca Quick Lube. They're new to town. And what makes them unique is that they come to you. As your car is parked at work or wherever, they will change the oil and provide a tire rotation and restore your headlights so you don't have to spend hours sitting at the shop. Call 808-9134. That's 808-9134. Nazca Quick Lube. Let their quality service come to you.
Followers of Jesus learn in the Gospel of Matthew about true discipleship. It means emulating him and pursuing a genuine righteousness that exceeds that of Pharisees and teachers of the law. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus described his idea for true disciples. He expected them to be forgiving, honest, genuine, humble, and most of all, kind to everyone around them. True disciples will proclaim that Jesus is the Son of God, that only he's worthy of our praise and our worship. They'll live like He is their Lord and Savior and that they are repentant sinners saved by His grace. Jesus encouraged His disciples to persevere, knowing that difficult times would come. He gave them a blueprint of what a true disciple looks like. The question is, are we willing to follow that same blueprint?
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
If you're a person who has more to do than you have hours in your day, and everything seems to take priority over your own health, then you're going to love the Loveless MyChart Secure Patient Portal. You can message your doctor, make an appointment, or view lab results anytime, day or night, on your computer or smartphone. Print a list of your medications at the click of a mouse or even compare previous tests to map your health progress. Loveless MyChart connects you to better health. Anywhere, anytime.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests, and they offer answers and solutions when you need them most. Protect your home, your children, and your pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Let Bob Reed Pest Control and their fully licensed professionals start working for you and your family today. Call 623-5344, serving all of southeastern New Mexico. Find them fast in names and numbers.
You've slouched on it. You've slept on it. You've sheltered in place on it until it's worn out. Now it's time for new furniture from Glenn's. Like a breath of fresh air, Glenn's will brighten your home with beautiful new furniture you'll be proud of for years to come. And at Glenn's, everything is ready for immediate delivery. So reopen your life and refresh your home with a trip to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than just serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable. Serving part-time lets you attend school full-time while you take advantage of education benefits that can help you graduate debt-free. If a civilian career is your goal, serving part-time allows you to work at a full-time job. The skills, qualities, and contacts you'll develop in the Guard can open doors to a great civilian career. Want to serve but worried about being away from friends and family? Part-time service in the Army National Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want while you enjoy the many benefits of serving your community and nation. You owe it to yourself to learn more about how the Army National Guard can fit into your life. Visit NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 28 minutes after 8 o'clock. Definitely. So, yeah, we're getting nostalgic here because it's our own fault.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it like halfway through that commercial break. It's like, we need to just stop talking and save this. Because, boy, we dove down a rabbit hole.
Well, we've been talking Nickelodeon stuff because Andrea was talking, she was admiring my Revenge of the Nerds hits, but she was also mentioning, you can't that on television. I was like, oh yeah, that was a whole nother vein of my life when I got cable and like as a kid, before I had cable, we didn't get cable till mid '80s. I'm thinking '86ish maybe.
Right.
And so, prior to that, you have your 4 channels or whatever it is. So, yeah, I saw a lot of Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, Electric Company, and those shows. And that's how I stumbled into Bob Ross, too, because, that's.
Well, and that's what kind of makes me take pause, because you were a child of PBS.
Yeah.
Because you watched your Sesame Street.
Zoom, I don't remember. I'm wondering if I just, because certain shows I didn't like and they weren't on my, like Electric Company, I would watch for a bit, but then I
that one wasn't my favorite.
Here's what it was. I think my mom watched Zoom when she was a kid. Zoom, by the way, was a PBS show that it was renaissance back in the 90s, brought back for a new audience. And so I watched it. But my mom loved that show, and so she would like specifically turn it on for me to watch it. And that sort of became my jam.
Now you're about 10 years younger than me. Were you in the Barney clique?
No.
Okay.
No, was
that too old? Was that a generation after?
Yeah,
okay.
and here's the thing: I was like 8 or 9 when that sort of like came out, so I was still a kid. But no, I was advanced.
Too cool for Barney at that time. I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because I remember just and to this day, I should probably not say this on the radio.
That was a great way to start a story.
Every time I see like the Wiggles, I'm like, get them away from kids. They look like they just look
smushed banana.
To me, I see that I'm like, that looks like nightmare fuel to me, and it looks like they're trying to lure kids into a van.
Here's the thing. As a parent of young children and having bore witness to some of the TV of today, I will say this, that I don't feel like that the creators of children's television from generations past were using their full potential. Because I watch children's television today, and it hits on a certain level where I can actually get something from it. Like I can get entertainment from it, because they know how to write. They have this way of writing this specific style where like they're writing for children, but they're also writing for the parents that they know are sitting there watching the shows in the background.
And maybe my life of watching comedy movies has jaded me, but every time I see them, when I ever see that, all I think of is how many drugs and alcohol items are these people doing to get through this song right now?
100%.
I feel like that's what's going on there.
Absolutely it is. But specifically, I've been watching, my kids have been watching the show Bluey. It's an Australian show about this family of blue healers, an animated show. But they write on this such a brilliant level. And I don't mean like potty humor. I mean like they reference movies and like TV shows that children, there's no possible way they could ever get that reference.
So they're trying to keep the adults hooked.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're sitting there and you're watching, and by the end you're like, wow, they really tied it in. They brought in a lesson in the whole. It's just, I'm fascinated by that style of writing.
I got to ask you a question now because it kind of made me think about this. I don't have kids, so I don't have a lot of experience with these kind of things. But I was watching Big Bang Theory. I get all my knowledge from TV.
Sure.
So I was watching.
As one should.
I'm a product of the 80s. What are you going to do?
You made a career out of it, people. I'm just saying. Don't ever let your parents say you're wasting your time in front of the TV.
Like you ever watch those 90s shows and they talk about kids growing up in the 80s and they said, this was my babysitter, and they show them in front of, I ain't lying. That was life in the 80s. But anyway,
it worked.
So anyway, I was watching Big Bang Theory, and it was one of the season around where Wolowitz and his wife were having their first kid, and all they had their first kid and everything else, and so the kid's at a point where the kid's into watching television shows and things, and so the mom is sitting there, and Penny comes over, and they're like, hey, you want to go out and have some fun and all this? They're like, sure, let me grab my purse. Hold on. Let me finish this episode of Bob the Builder.
Yep.
I haven't, but as a dad, are you in that zone where like you're watching the episodes with the kids and you're like, wait a minute, I want to find out how the Bob the Builder finishes this job.
Okay, no, not Bob the Builder. I'll give you that. But
at the time, I think Bob the Builder was a big deal. Right. So it's
literally come up on several different shows where it's like they'll leave the room, they'll be going doing something else, but I'm enthralled in the story. I want to know what happens.
Yeah.
Because I'm a student of good storytelling. I've always been fascinated by a good story, and if beginning, middle, and end. I hate dipping out of a story in the middle.
Gotcha.
It drives me nuts.
So I didn't know if you were just kind of like now were you watching them on your own? Like the kid gone to bed, you're like, I'm going to finish the season.
I'm not going to lie. There was a moment, and this was literally last night. After I'd gotten my kids to bed, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, I kind of want to watch an episode of Bluey.
Yeah.
It's really good. Like it's kind of like the character, like the way the characters develop. They're the parents on this show, Bandit and Chili. They're these like style of parents where they're almost improv actors. They yes and to everything their children say.
Okay.
They'll say, we're gonna play this game, and they're like, and they just instantly jump into that character.
Okay.
To the point where like they embarrass themselves in front of friends, family, and passersby.
Okay.
And I'm in awe of that style of parent. Like, I wish I could do some. There's no way I could ever be that dad.
So you aspire to.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's fascinating to me to kind of like watch what they're going to let their kids do to them next.
All right.
Yeah, I'm wildly entertained by that show and other shows that they've watched.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. But, I mean, I'm glad you find program you could sit down with your kid and watch
And
together.
what it comes down to is I have to.
Yeah.
I have to because it's going to be on TV. And
Sure.
So I better find something. I better get some joy out of it.
Well, here's the thing, because this, obviously you're a TV watcher and love that kind of thing. And, maybe this will be the bonding parts of as your children get older.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, I think they're going to get tired of these programs and want
absolutely.
more age-appropriate shows. Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, you're getting them into the world of the shows you like when they're age-appropriate and things like that.
That's sort of like the excitement for me is I get to kind of take her down that rabbit hole. Look at the stuff that Daddy grew up watching.
Yeah.
When she gets to that point where she's ready to. Hunter did the same thing,
Yeah, although with your daughter, she might not be as receptive as your son just because she's on the spectrum.
Right.
And
she locks into certain things that she likes.
I was about to say some of those 80s shows might trigger some things, and you're like, all right, we can't discuss.
But
you know what I mean?
Here's the difference.
Yeah,
is that my daughter, yes, while on the spectrum, is very much like me in that she finds something, and that is her jam.
Okay,
that becomes
she beats it to death. Huh?
Exactly. Because she will go online and research it. That becomes her 100% thing. So So I feel like if I can find something that we can both kind of like latch onto, and I can get her in on, we'll be lifers. We're good.
What about Wipeout? I feel like that's a show that could cross adults and kids.
One of the things, so one of my go-tos is, and this always works, is how you have like the TV Plus or if you have Pluto.
Sure.
There's always the Fail Army channel.
Okay.
Literally her favorite thing to watch. She goes, Daddy, can we watch fails? Like, yeah, let's go watch people biff it on bikes. I'm down to watch that all day long.
They're like, we're going to fast through Daddy's videos, but we're going to keep that.
Yeah, she loves that. We could watch that all day or day. So yeah, that's
all right, I get that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, stuff like that. I feel like that could. But I mean, Hunter.
Wouldn't it be funny? Like 20 years down the road, they're still doing America's Funniest Home Videos, and your daughter is like after the Charlton gets done doing his run with it, because that show's never going away.
Oh, well, no.
We will be 557 years old, and there's still America's Funniest Home Videos on. It just that show will never go away. I think, in my opinion.
Back when we had TV, we would literally DVR episodes because Rhiannon would want to watch them.
But because of her knowledge of Fail Army, she might be like. And being on she might be like an encyclopedia of this stuff. And next thing you know, she's going to be like the
executive producer of.
Well, or almost like she's looked at like the Jeopardy guys, but for fail videos, and she's hosting the show. It's like this one dates back to October 5th, 2002, and you know what I mean?
Oh, she could straight up do that.
And I think she could bring that to another level. So keep watching. That might turn into her encyclopedia and just be She's the foregone expert on fail videos.
Mm-hmm. And that's sort of her thing is she is a student of things like that. She pays attention to like all the little details.
Put that to her advantage, man. If she loves that stuff, embrace it and turn it into her thing or whatever it is. That's. I think if I was if I was a parent and everything, and my lessons learned today, that would be my kids. I'd be like, dude, find your passion and keep going with it and ride with it. Find when your kids drawing. Make them draw more. Make them do those things that they love more.
And that's sort of what I've kind of tried for the most part to do, mess free for the most part. But if she finds something that she really likes and latches onto and is good at, I will, put as much as I can into that. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Like she's super into art. She's not good at it, but she's into it. So I'll, buy her art supplies and stuff.
She's now in the time of her life where she's got to find her jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. So that's cool. I like that. Probably good spot to pause for some news. I feel like we just came into a warm fuzzy, and now it's time to, before we botch that, just go to a break. By the way, I didn't even get to, you can't do that on television.
I know!
Didn't get any of that.
We literally got, and I was sitting here at the end of that conversation thinking, dang, we missed the whole deep dive that we were on in the commercial break before.
Well, I'm going to do some barf next break, and I heard that, and have some water, and I don't know what'll happen next.
Ooh! Don't say I don't know.
I know, that's why I said it. It was by design. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Eddy County Sheriff's Office is congratulating Deputy Ryan Kinnikin and Deputy Josh Herrera for their graduation from the Southeastern Law Enforcement Academy. Deputy Kinnikin graduated with the Academic Award and also broke the long-standing record for most continuous sit-ups at 310. Deputy Herrera was pinned by his little brother, Sam Fodge. Kinnikin was pinned by Sergeant Amy Dugas of the Eddy County Sheriff's Office. The Gila Cliff Dwellings National Monument will close this weekend while crews continue efforts to contain a wildfire in the Gila National Forest. The National Park Service said Thursday that the cliff dwellings will shut down at 8 a.m. Saturday and until further notice. The lightning-caused fire, which was first reported May 20th, has burned roughly 60 square miles. Firefighters will also conduct burnout operations west of the cliff dwellings on the so-called Johnson Fire. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Dry air coming into our area today, so it doesn't look like we'll be getting any rain. We'll keep the sunshine and our afternoon high in the mid to upper 80s and a little bit breezy. Overnight, partly cloudy in low 60s, and then we heat up a little bit tomorrow with highs in the low 90s, breezy and sunny. Turning cloudy on Saturday night, then we're quickly back to sunshine on Sunday, highs in the mid 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. The Justice Department is investigating Postmaster General Louis DeJoy over political fundraising activity at his former business. That's according to a spokesman for DeJoy. And the Washington Post reports that federal authorities in recent weeks have subpoenaed DeJoy and interviewed current and former employees of his logistics company. Shares of General Motors rose to record highs Thursday after the company said its efforts to manage the global computer chip shortage have worked better than expected. The automaker says it has made engineering changes, prioritized semiconductor use, and pulled some potential deliveries into the second quarter. On Wall Street, the Dow dropped 23 points to close at 34,577. The Nasdaq lost 141 to 13,614, and the S&P 500 down 15 to 4,192. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Followers of Jesus learn in the Gospel of Matthew about true discipleship. It means emulating him and pursuing a genuine righteousness that exceeds that of Pharisees and teachers of the law. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus described his idea for true disciples. He expected them to be forgiving, honest, genuine, humble, and most of all, kind to everyone around them. True disciples will proclaim that Jesus is the Son of God, that only he's worthy of our praise and our worship. They'll live like he is their Lord and Savior and that they are repentant sinners saved by his grace. Jesus encouraged his disciples to persevere, knowing that difficult times would come. He gave them a blueprint of what a true disciple looks like. The question is, are we willing to follow that same blueprint?
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
If you're a person who has more to do than you have hours in your day, and everything seems to take priority over your own health, then you're going to love the loveless MyChart Secure Patient Portal. You can message your doctor, make an appointment, or view lab results anytime, day or night, on your computer or smartphone. Print a list of your medications at the click of a mouse or even compare previous tests to map your health progress. Loveless MyChart connects you to better health. Anywhere, anytime.
Customizable office equipment is one stop away at PTS Office Systems. Of course, you and the business next door do different things, so you need different office equipment. PTS Office Systems has fully customizable office equipment in stock, waiting to be delivered to your business. Get fully customized office equipment to meet your office's specific needs. The day and age of one-size-fits-all office equipment is gone. Shop around at PTS Office Systems today at 217 North Main in downtown Roswell.
Have they found you yet? They're always looking. They work 24 hours a day. They're underground operators, so you probably won't see them coming. They invade 5 million American homes every year. They're looking for yours right now. Termites. They cause more damage than tornadoes, fires, and earthquakes combined. They eat unprotected homes from the inside out every minute of every day. And most homeowners' insurance doesn't cover termite damage. Don't wait until termites find you. Get protected now with the Centricon Termite Colony Elimination System with always active technology. The system provides continuous daily protection against termites, killing termites today and protecting your home in the future. Termites are always looking. That's why the Centricon system is always active.
To learn more about the Centricon system, call Bob Reed Pest Control at 623-5344 in Roswell and 877-623-5344 for all of Southeast New Mexico.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:45. So, well, real quick, before I get into You Can't Do That on Television, I have an epiphany of a statement. It's important. We'll talk about that. First, I want to tell you about the fine folks at Zia Guns USA here in Roswell. Swing on by. They got you covered. If you're looking for ammunition, they got it in stock. 22 ammo in stock. 50-count boxes of 9mm ammo in stock. Looking to sell guns? They're looking to buy them. Whether you want to sell a single gun, an entire gun collection, or a state, they will buy it. They got cash on hand in store. They're going to make you an offer. You walk out the door with that whole cold, hard cash. Don't forget, if you want to trade in, trade up, maybe you're like, hey, I got a 9mm. I want to upgrade that to a heavier caliber gun. No problem. They got you covered. And as always, they are your Benelli, Stoger, and Uberte dealer, your largest Vortex optics dealer in the state. They now carry the Athlon spotting scopes as well. And coffee drinkers, looking for a good fix of coffee? They've got Black Rifle coffee in stock at Zia Guns USA here in Roswell. And if you've been seeing the Dr. Squatch soap products for men online, and you're like, I'd like to, but I want to touch it, smell it, and see it first.
I want to grab a buck knife and just slice off a little piece of this soap.
Yeah, I haven't had to want to whittle soap since the days of Irish Spring.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how our old Irish Spring commercials, they used to whittle into the soap?
Oh, yeah.
In the 70s. I don't know if you remember.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. But never since the days. But anyway, Dr. Squatch soap, you don't have to go online and order it. You can, right here in Roswell, Zia Guns USA is your only fully fledged Dr. Squatch retailer here in Roswell. So swing on by. They are open every day, but tomorrow. They're closed on Saturdays because they spend Saturdays with family, but open every day, including Sundays, besides that Saturday. Swing on by 1907 North Main or call them 575-622-0023. All right, so I just had a thought.
Okay.
And I've never done the math timeline till now, so I think I'm pretty confident in saying this. The television program, You Can't Do That on Television, which started in Canada in the 70s and then picked up the United States in 1981. I looked it up on Wikipedia.
Oh, did you? Okay.
to kind of cement my theory a little bit.
And I'm going to hold my thought on that for a second because I want you to get your epiphany in.
Yeah. My epiphany is green slime would not be in our lexicon at all if it had not been for that television show. And if you're thinking, but wait, what about like Ghostbusters and all that?
Agree with
Guess what? Ghostbusters came out in 84. This came out in 79, I believe, in Canada. And they were doing I think You Can't Do It on Television put slime in all of our lexicons because I think Ghostbusters blew it up with Slimer.
Slimer, yeah.
But I think because the green slime and everything is very similar to what I'm telling you right now, we can thank the Canadians for slime. And
I would 100% agree with you.
So I don't know if without
Maple
You Can't Do It,
slime, Mike Myers.
Yeah.
Tell me the best things don't come from the north.
I'm just saying, I do not think we would like and here, kids, when we were youngins, in the 80s youngins, like one of the big popular things is your gumball machines and all that in the quarters. It was a quarter then.
In some cases, it still is.
But yeah,
I've seen those.
Very few.
Right.
But they would just put balls of slime in those things, and we loved all that stuff. And like they used to have hands sticky.
I like how you say used to and would.
Yeah.
Have you not seen dude?
I don't
sticky
have kids.
Hands. Yeah, I know, but
I don't have kids. I don't.
But look at a vending machine because I guarantee sticky
usually
hands.
Usually in restaurants,
slime,
and my brain's on food at that point,
sure.
So I'm not.
Sticky hands are absolutely still a thing.
I still see a lot of football helmets and tattoos. But
you know what I don't see anymore, and we're getting off on another tangent. We do that, but you know what I don't see anymore, and I would love to see. I would love to find little homies.
See, that was a little after me, but I'm aware of them.
Little homies those were insanely popular when I was in school. Everybody would collect their little homies and would like show off their collection. I remember I had a pretty healthy collection too, and they're worth a ton. If you have like a full collection of them now, they're worth a ton of money.
How about them Garbage Pail Kids? Are they worth value now?
They're apparently they brought them back a couple of years ago. The Garbage Pail like kids and some of the cards, and they're sort of like retconning a lot, or I guess redoing a lot of those. Like they brought back Care Bears and the 1980s style.
Okay.
Again, and my daughter's super into that again, which is
probably only adults bought them.
Which is great because it's giving something for Rhiannon and Carletta to kind of like bond on.
Sure, yeah,
they
makes
have
sense.
their love of Care Bears.
That makes sense.
But no, the why I smiled when you were bringing up slime was anybody who's my age, who is in their mid-30s right now. I guarantee at some point in your life, I would put my next paycheck on this.
All right.
At some point in your life, you had a thought in your head, even if you didn't verbalize it, you had a thought in your head, I really want to taste that slime. I really want to know what slime tastes like. And I know because I've looked it up. It's vanilla custard, basically.
Yeah. You know what? I think something just shot a hole in my theory.
Oh, really?
I got to look up something else.
Okay.
Dr. Seuss may have You Can't Do That on Television beat.
With slime?
The oobleck.
Yeah, but it wasn't like it was slime on the head.
Yeah. I mean, they I don't know. I have to do some digging on there because Seuss had the oobleck, and that was very much green slime. And matter of fact, that when you said eating it, that's remind me of because my wife, being a second grade teacher, you know, like Dr. Seuss days and stuff on occasion, they make that oobleck, and I ate it. I ate some, tried it. But that's what reminded me of it. And I said, oobleck.
But every kid my age was like, I just really want to taste that slime. And here's why I bring that up because, and I know it's McDonald's Friday, so I won't give any love to anybody else. But there's a company that I just saw it on a Facebook ad yesterday that you can slime your dessert thing that they offer. And it just showed this green slime pouring over.
Ew.
No, dude. Immediately, I'm like, I have to try that slime. I went over there. I went to that place at lunch, and they didn't have it. I was very disappointed walking out of that place. But like, I wanted to. The 7-year-old in me like lit up. I'm like, I want to eat that slime.
I got my mouth all worked up some slime.
My mouth all worked up for some slime. And
anybody like, swallow left in the container. Oh man! But I will tell you this. I think but you know, the Garbage Pail Kids. Real quick, that was a little later in my I was probably like 14 or something by the time. Sadly, collecting those then. I think because I think I wasn't younger when those came out. I want to say I was like a young teen when those.
I got about 4 minutes. The Garbage Pail Kids were mid 80s.
Okay.
I vividly remember.
Well, that makes sense because I was like 88. I was 14. So yeah, 13, 14.
Mid late. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I only remember that because my sister had Garbage Pail Kids collectibles. And that was like right in her realm. I was born in 84, but I've always considered myself more of a child of the 90s because my formative years were then.
Okay.
So most of my references, most of my, TV show knowledge comes from that era, from like the early to mid 90s.
Yeah. See, I was born in 73, so I've got like 70s knowledge, but it's young brain. So I remember like things from 75 and like I kind of remember some of the television stuff, but it's to me in my brain, it's so old.
And that's sort of kind of where this whole thing started. I know it started from You Can't Do That on Television, but where it started in my head with this hour was I way back in the day did this deep dive on specifically the origins of cable, like how cable started and cable networks. And it's fascinating to me. I watched it was like art, the A&E network. There used to be like the arts channel and the entertainment channel, and they literally merged to become A&E. But all these like formations of these networks and how they only had like limited broadcast schedules, and they would go off air or like would switch. They would share. That's how A&E became that. It's like it was two networks that shared. One had morning and one had evening, and they merged.
Gotcha.
But a lot of pretty much all of the content from early cable came from outside of America.
Because that's with I know we've talked like the MTV one.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'd watched that documentary, and because we had an 80s British invasion of music because of MTV, because the only bands that had videos readily available were British bands.
Yep.
American bands weren't big into that, and didn't until MTV kind of blew up.
Right.
And then that's why if you look at like early MTV, well, you can't, but I mean, like some of the videos for songs from America weren't videos. They were just kind of like maybe shots from a concert or something, but they were like, hey, we need to get some of these songs on our channel.
Right.
So so bands would come up with this, and then of course, then a few bands embraced the putting production value into video, and
that's sort of where
then your Thrillers came out and stuff like that.
But even You Can't Do That on Television, we mentioned it was a Canadian show. When Nickelodeon started, it started as a channel called Pinwheel, which was spun off of a children's show called Pinwheel. And then I think after like 2 years, they became Nickelodeon under new management. They had no programming. And so everything they showed was from Canada.
Hence You Can't Do It on Television. And I want to know why people don't remember Turkey TV. Like if you watch Nickelodeon back in those days, there was a show for a couple years called Turkey TV. And it was almost, to me, it reminded me of like a kid's version of Monty Python. It wasn't a whole lot of adult sketch comedy, but it was all like the vignettes of Monty Python. I know you got to go, but of Monty Python. But like Fish Heads, the Fish Heads song. I first heard it on Turkey TV. The whole fish heads, roly poly fish heads, eat them up, yum. And it was all that kind of stuff. But every time nowadays I talk about Turkey TV, most people give me the deer in headlights stare. But I remember Turkey TV. That was one that I always liked as well. So I don't know. Hey, it is 8:56. Next hour here about 9:15, we're going to have Marie Manning join us. She's the new executive director for Main Street Roswell. Tonight is Main Street Roswell's first Friday downtown market. Official time is 5 to 8, but it kind of comes and goes all day long with the businesses doing specials and deals like that. But official time for all the fun and frivolity and festivities is 5 to 8 tonight. A dynamite downtown with donuts. Stop by Reichman Park and pick up your free coupons for your Dunkin' Donuts. Also, visit the downtown merchants. Are open late for shopping convenience. Great family fun. Celebrate National Donut Day at Main Street Roswell's first Friday deal at Dunkin' Donuts. They've got great photo opportunities, great business. I mean, so I'm just kind of looking at the list of the sales and stuff. So Marie's going to join us next hour. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about UFO Fest, all that good stuff too. So that's coming up next hour. So yeah, Marie, Marie, she's actually a DJ over at Majestic. If you don't know her, and she's a musician, I've seen her, perform many times and stuff. Great lady. So if you have never met Marie, you'll meet her here next hour. But, of course, Kathy stepped down as Main Street Director here a month or two ago. And then Marie took over here, I believe, right around mid-May, maybe. I don't know, somewhere around there. But anyway, she'll join us next hour, and we'll chat all about that there. A couple other things while we're talking about stuff on the radar I want to put on your radar. Next week, is it next week? Yeah, I guess it is. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is having this is really cool. In Artesia, they're going to be having the 9/11 Never Forget mobile exhibit. This is a kind of a mobile museum for the tribute to the 9/11 tragedy. And Tunnels to Towers is an organization. They help nonprofit helping first responders, particularly those first responders that were involved in 9/11. And so great organization. But they have this mobile museum, and this is the first time it's ever come to New Mexico. And it's going to be here in Artesia. The gentleman that's the curator, he was a firefighter. He was actually a battalion chief there, and he was helping with the cleanup and everything else. It's pretty, he's very... Matter of fact, we'll get to talk to him. But kind of give you a rundown. Next week, all that's going down. And so June 10th, they're going to have a full escort from... See, I think the exhibit comes in Wednesday night. It'll stay the night in Roswell. And then I think on Thursday, they'll do at 1 o'clock, they're going to have a big escort and everything, and to escort the mobile exhibit from Roswell to Artesia. And then the rest of the day on June 10th, I believe it'll be open for first responders only. Just first responders get a chance to go through. Then on June 11th, they're going to have an opening ceremony at 9 a.m. We're actually going to be doing our morning shows. We're going to do a combined morning show next Friday out at the site there in Artesia. Gene Dow and Good Morning Artesia, myself, and Sean will be there too from Mornings with Mike Winters, and we're going to do a big combined show out there talking about it, interviewing the people involved and all that good stuff. And then, of course, the exhibit is open to the public beginning at 10 a.m. June 11th through June 14th, and it'll be open 10 to 4 each day there. But we'll talk more about it next week, but want to put it on your radar there. And I know Artesia Chamber, Roswell Chamber, all involved in this event. So we'll talk more about that next week.
On air and online, this is Roswell's home for talk radio, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. More Americans went back to work in May, but correspondent Ken Lorman says that hiring fell short of what economists had been expecting.
Employers added 559,000 jobs last month, up from the anemic gains in April, but still only modest gains. The employment numbers seem to be further evidence that many companies are still struggling to find enough workers, even as the unemployment rate dropped to 5.8%.
The leisure and hospitality industries, big winners in last month's hiring report.
People are spending their stimulus checks. They're starting to travel again. They're starting to go out to dinner again. We did see some weakness in other parts of the economy. We saw a decline in construction employment despite the strong housing market.
PNC Financial Chief Economist Gus Fauché, President Biden calling the report great news for the economy, the recovery, and for the American people.
We have now created over 2 million jobs in total since I took office.
And he says the unemployment rate is below 6% for the first time since the pandemic hit. The western drought has California's reservoirs at dangerously low levels.
Experts say the state's more than 1,500 reservoirs are 50% lower than they should be this time of year. And the State Department of Water Resources predicts the water level at one key reservoir, Lake Oroville, could reach historic lows by late August. The drought is making it harder for farmers to grow crops and for endangered fish species to survive. And it's tough for tourism as low water levels make the lakes less enticing for boaters. John Scott reporting.
Wall Street reacting to the May employment report with a bit of a rally underway this hour. Right now, the key averages are in positive territory. The Dow up 153 points. The S&P ahead 29, and the NASDAQ Composite Index trading 160 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Over 10 years ago, we realized how important saving family memories was, and we wanted to help. Legacy Box started from that passion and has now helped over 850,000 families digitally preserve their film reels, VHS tapes, and photos. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. What started with the two of us in a garage is now over 200 trained professionals. Legacy Box is a safe and secure way to put all your favorite family memories on an easy-to-view digital format like a thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud.
We ship you a sturdy Legacy Box to fill with all your outdated media, safety barcodes to track your items throughout the process, and a prepaid mailing label. Legacy Box has been featured by Good Morning America and The Today Show. Not bad for two kids in a garage.
That's true, Nick. And here's the best part. We always wanted to make it affordable to preserve your entire collection. So we're offering 40% off.
Go to legacybox.com/LBOX to take advantage of this exclusive offer. That's legacybox.com/LBOX to save 40%. legacybox.com/LBOX.
Two senior officials with the Organization for Economic Cooperation in Southeast Asia are on a mission to Myanmar.
The ASEAN delegation visiting Myanmar today is the first to be allowed to go there. It is low level and unlikely to get meaningful concessions from the generals. Many ASEAN governments are authoritarian themselves and uneasy about championing democracy in Myanmar. All are held back by ASEAN's long-held principle of non-interference in each other's affairs. Yet with efforts to challenge the coup at the United Nations stymied by opposition from Russia and China, ASEAN's lukewarm diplomatic efforts still represent one of the only hopes for ending the violence in Myanmar.
That's a BBC's Jonathan Head. European Union and British regulators launching dual antitrust investigations focusing on Facebook. News and analysis at townhall.com. A federal court has sided with Republican Senator Ted Cruz in a case involving personal loans he made to his own election campaign.
The D.C. Court of Appeals ruled that Cruz does have the right to repay $260,000 worth of loans to himself from donations raised after the election. Cruz challenged a Federal Elections Commission rule capping such repayments at $250,000. D.C. Court of Appeals Judge Naomi Rao wrote, the loan repayment limit runs afoul of the First Amendment. Cruz had put $260,000 of his own money into his 2018 re-election campaign. He sued the FEC in April of last year as he attempted to repay the debt. Bob Agnew reporting.
Former President Trump says he's glad he didn't take Dr. Anthony Fauci's advice on some virus-related issues. Mr. Trump speaking out after seeing some of the thousands of Fauci emails released this week, thanks to the Freedom of Information Act. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Javelin, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Buenos Friday, everybody.
Yeah.
It's finally here.
We made it.
I don't know. That Rick Springfield boy, he sure is a smart man. I'm just telling you. Yeah. I am working for the weekend.
It's true.
Every time. I'm like, Monday, Friday, I'm like, yay, I get to go home and do nothing.
You do know that's not Rick Springfield.
What?
Loverboy.
Oh, Loverboy. I'm sorry. I got my 80s mixed up. And I'm one of the few people on the planet that saw Loverboy.
Right. That's what blows my mind.
I'm sorry. I got my 80s mixed up. It was a brain cramp.
What do you do at a Loverboy show when you're waiting for them to play Working for the Week? Because obviously they open and close with it, and I'm assuming probably come back on stage with it.
I don't know. I was mad. I was at the concert because Loverboy was the highlight. That was the infamous Eddie Money concert.
Oh,
that he rolled out in like a T-shirt he'd just been painting, and he's just going through the motions. 2 tickets to paradise. I'm like, this paradise, I want to go to hell.
This is not my kind of paradise. Yeah, Mike was just mad he had to miss out on the Bay City Rollers that was performing on the side stage.
Yeah, that was one of those concerts. I was like, my wife, because she wanted to go. It was nothing about me on this one.
Dude, nothing in my mind ever made me think, I wonder if Mike wanted to go to this show. I wonder if this was like on his list.
And I was like, that's 3 hours of my life I'm not getting back. And I was mad. The highlight
As
that
one
night,
should be.
The highlight of that night was the buffet at Into the Mountain Gods. I'm telling you.
Honestly, that should, like the visual representation of Loverboy should just be a pissed off husband.
Yeah, I know.
Just driving home in a car while the wife is happy and he's just seething.
But at the end of that concert, I was like, Loverboy wasn't that bad. Eddie Money made Loverboy look like Queen. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they went out there and it's like, boys, tonight we are going to own Macon, Georgia.
And then I remember, like, a couple years later, I watched that Eddie Money reality show. He had a reality show before he died.
Really?
Yeah, it was like on E! or one of those channels. Yeah, it was the whole Eddie Money family. And I think it was something witty, like coming into the money or something.
One for the money.
Yeah, or money for love.
It has to be. I'm sure it has to be.
Something money related. But a matter of fact, I think he was doing that show up until he passed.
That shows not why he passed, is it?
Well, why he passed is probably the copious amounts of drugs and things he's done to his body over the year. That's probably why he died.
Mm-hmm.
But he was trying to push his family over into singing too.
Really?
Yeah, like I think his daughter or wife or one of those is a singer too.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like doing like some kind of Eddie Money Partridge Family band or something.
And they always make it look so innocent and sweet, but we know what it is. Dad, you lost your vocal range and you're just trying to keep it alive.
Well, all I'm saying is you ain't seen no Eddie Money Band music videos pop up anywhere. Or get on your Spotify and find the Eddie Money Band, Family Band, Partridge Family, whatever they called it. I don't
even think after he passed that he had because like all the artists when they pass, they get that like 300% Spotify boost of like everybody goes and downloads. I don't think anybody was rushing to get Eddie Money's music.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, my wife's calling me. No. The reason why is because her kids are about to leave. And she wanted me to give a shout out because it's their last day of school.
Nice.
And so to my wife's second grade class, enjoy your last day of school. Behave yourselves this summer, and be nice to your teacher, my wife, the rest of the day, please. Because it make my weekend so much better.
Nobody put thumbtacks on her chair. Nobody accidentally super glue the toilet seat before she's gonna sit. Nobody put anything in her milk at lunch.
Behave yourselves. Be nice, be good today. Otherwise, I will tell her to tell your parents to ruin your summer. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. Nobody all behave.
Nobody in the back of the class shoots spit wads at the front of the class the whole day. Nobody do that. Yeah, guys, come on. Be better. Be better.
Or she's going to kill you.
I know. I'm waiting for it.
She already didn't like the fact that you said she gets paid all year. She does not.
Oh, okay.
She gets paid 10 months of the year. They spread it out over the 12 months. She only gets paid for 10 months of work.
Well, I meant it with all due respect, ma'am.
With all due respect.
And that's never to take anything away from teachers. I know, I mean, and some of my favorite people are teachers. I talk about my daughter's team endlessly. They're superheroes the way they can get, anything out of Rhiannon. So I will never take anything away from a teacher.
And that's Sean backpedaling.
It certainly is. Watch the dance, everybody. I was married for 15 years. I learned the backpedal.
Let me see.
I dance in and I dance out.
We got to thank you, so I guess I'm not in trouble. So, but I'll hear what you said later.
No. As a father of a second grader, I fully understand. This is not me backpedaling. This is me being honest. As a father of a second grader, I fully understand what the undertaking it is.
Well, my wife's got a diabolical side, so you make her too mad. She might just pump your kid up with sugar and send him on your way and be like, "Hey, Sean," and not tell you, and then your kid's gonna just go crazy on you, and she'll sit back and smile maniacally.
Not for nothing, but she's gonna have to access my kid first.
She's a teacher. She knows to get to your kids.
That's true. She does have the access cards. She's gonna fob her way in.
Yes. So enjoy your last day of school. Congratulations to our graduates. Those that graduated last night, those that will be graduating tonight and tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And am I missing any? Is there more after tomorrow? Or is everybody pretty much graduated?
I think after tomorrow afternoon, that's everybody. Because Artesia already graduated.
Yeah.
I think we already got the Hagermans out of the way and all that. But
good news, all the folks that are graduating this week have none of the worries of weather of last week. You know how we were getting all like the rains and all that, and well, you saw what we saw.
You were there.
But now, and I think you're okay. Tomorrow, check under the caps and gowns. It's going to be like 95.
Yeah.
So make sure the clothing's under the cap and gown.
Well, we don't check under the caps and gowns. That would be a little weird.
Well, I'm saying is make sure, before they march on the stage, make sure they've got something other than the robe on.
That did seem sort of odd. It's like, why do I have to dress up under this dress? Nobody's going to see my slacks. Who's that for?
It's for your parents.
Sure.
So you know they're there.
Sure. But
like they put up with your nonsense for 18 years.
Yeah.
And slap on some slacks and a pair of shirts.
This is my last chance to do something. Now, did you do anything when you walked? Did you do a thing when you crossed the stage?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, what'd you do?
Yeah, well, two things.
Okay.
One, for those that don't know, Winters is not my real last name.
Dude,
that is a
breaking
radio.
kayfabe.
I know, I am.
You could have told this whole story and still gone with Winters.
Not really.
Okay, fair enough. Because it's an alphabetical thing.
No, because my last name is Sisson, Sisson. There's three S's, 6 letters. So my nickname through the entire high school was That was it. It was my entire. So everyone in school called me, and and so when I graduated, of course, well, I think it was about 360 in my class. All of them went. So it sounded like someone sprung a leak when I graduated. So yes, I went up there and did my everybody, and then of course, because they weren't going to give you your actual diploma until you figured out if you paid your library card fees and all that stuff.
Until they saw what you did on stage.
So they hand you the leather bound book or folder, and then that's supposed to be your diploma.
We didn't get that. We got a rolled up. It was rolled up piece of paper. That was blank,
see, I didn't get that
with a ribbon around it.
I got the full. Well, the reason they probably stopped doing that is because of me. Because what I did was I went up there, and after the crowd of I got on the other side of the stage. My parents happened to be their seats were right, so I opened it up, said, "Look, aren't you proud of me?" And I opened it up real loud, and like the whole end second, and there was a big blank thing just walking by, and I walked, and so that was what that was my moment on stage.
That's really cool.
Because I'm a bit of a smart aleck, and that's what I do.
As one does. Mine. Now, I was toying with the idea because they tell you beforehand. They said if you pull any shenanigans, we still have the option to withhold your diploma. We can.
Yeah. They always threaten you with that stuff.
Right. Like they wouldn't do that. But so my head was, okay, I'm going to do one of two things. I'm either going to slip and slide across the stage, or I'm going to do the way less boring thing. And I opted for the way less boring thing of jumping up in the air, clicking my heels together, and grabbing my diploma and walking off.
But that takes talent.
It did.
I like to try people in our audience. Not if you're driving, of course, but do these. Stand up and click your heels and see if you can pull it off. It's not easy to do.
Hey,
not bad. Not bad for a man in his mid-30s.
Now, in fairness, I don't have the range that I used to.
Well, and you got to train for that.
I'm not going to be nollie kick flipping anytime soon.
You do have to train for that, but yeah. So that's awesome.
But yeah, congratulations to the class of 2021. You guys, no class before you has been through the nonsense that you guys have been through. So props.
This is true. This is a true statement.
You guys are definitely gonna have some stories.
Yeah. Let me give you the rundown. Then I'll thank McDonald's.
Yes.
But first, the rundown. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few minutes, and then about 5 minutes or so. I was going to say 9:15, but it's 9:16, so clearly I can't do that. Marie Manning, the brand new executive director for Main Street Roswell, will join us. Yes. Tonight is First Friday because it's the first Friday, and that's what they do on the first Friday.
And I believe Marie's first Friday.
It is. It is Marie's first Friday.
So no pressure.
So we're going to talk about tonight's First Friday, talk about all the fun things happening. Of course, we got a little UFO thing coming up in a few weeks as well. I know that's scary because we always talk about that, and it's always months. You know, it's because all we talk. But now it's like, oh, yeah, that's like in a couple of weeks.
Let's full pullback of the curtain. I kind of was chatting with Miss Marie yesterday, and she was kind of revealing to me her schedule for the next several months, and I didn't realize how just nonstop we are for the next 6 months. We're in festival season.
Yeah, 'tis the season. And now that we've all been locked down for a year and a half, people want to come out and do stuff.
Hot girl summer's on.
Sean will be walking.
That's right.
Be on the lookout for him.
Oh, yeah. I've got halter tops in all sorts of different colors.
Look, I can get these pants not to show them off.
I'm going to make Pride Month happen.
So Marie will join us here in a bit. We'll talk all about First Friday and all the other stuff happening through Main Street Roswell as well, of course. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety and then your SRM business update and whatever else we can conjure up here before we wrap up today's show. I got to thank the fine folks at McDonald's. As they do each and every Friday, they provide us with delicious breakfast treats, and I invite you to visit any of our McDonald's and get some yourself. And the beauty of it is, like, say you got like a Egg McMuffin hankering, and it's, back in the day, we all be like, we got to get there before 10:30. Not no mo. You got it there. And then with the app, you can download the app, and then they've got exclusive deals through the app. So you're kind of in like I'm in the cool kids club. And so you download the app. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. You can even link it to your Facebook so you don't have to fill out all the stuff if you're too lazy, because I'm all about working smarter, not harder. So you do that, you sign up through there, and then you can go and get, order your meals and stuff. But then you can also go to their special app-only deals, and they'll have things like if you're a McNugget fan, like a 20-piece chicken nugget for like $4.99, or like a buy one get one deal, or like they do a lot of McCafe drinks. So if you're a coffee drinker or those, you could probably get a deal just about every day on your coffee if you snoop through that app there and do it and do all that stuff. So give it a try, download it today, and then swing on by any of your McDonald's South Main. Yours is coming. We're getting you a new one soon. Don't worry, that's going to be happening. So in the meantime, come see us at the UFO McDonald's there, or go up north to get that one there too. All right, 19 minutes after 9. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Dry air coming into our area today, so it doesn't look like we'll be getting any rain. We'll keep the sunshine and our afternoon high in the mid to upper 80s and a little bit breezy. Overnight, partly cloudy in low 60s, and then we heat up a little bit tomorrow with highs in the low 90s, breezy and sunny. Turning cloudy on Saturday night, then we're quickly back to sunshine on Sunday, highs in the mid 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 71 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 63%, and winds are out of the south at 9 miles per hour. Today, mostly sunny with a high of 88 degrees. South winds at around 10 miles per hour. Enjoy this moment. Savor it, because we're not going to see 88 for a few days. 88 will be a godsend today. Enjoy it. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 63. South winds 5 to 10. So beautiful night for First Friday. No worries, no problems. Tomorrow, things start warming up a little bit, and then it gets warmer from there. Saturday, sunny and 94. South winds 5 to 15. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy. Overnight low of 63. South winds 5 to 15. Sunday, sunny skies, highs near the century mark. They're saying 99 officially, but weather always downplays it a degree or two. It'll be 101, guarantee it. Then Monday, it don't get no better. Sunny skies, highs once again right around the century mark. Tuesday, sunny, 101 for a high. Wednesday, sunny and 104. Thursday, sunny and 104. Enjoy your 88 today. That's what I'm telling you. Because it's going to get warmer from here. Remember that time you're like, I'm tired from all this rain. Now you're going to be like, damn, too hot. Where's the rain? So that's all right. You're human. We all do the same thing. No big deal. All right. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute commercial break, and then Marie Manning will join us, and we'll talk all about Main Street Roswell and tonight's First Friday and Alien Fest and Farmers Market. We're about a month away from Farmers Market as well, too. So all of that coming. Don't go away.
As the school year comes to an end and COVID restrictions start to ease, don't lose sight of the lessons learned. Cover your cough, positive personal hygiene, respect one another, show and tell others you love them. Fiscal and social responsibility are great ways to show your love. This is Damon Graham, your local New York Life agent. I can help you show your love to others. Call me at 575-623-0803 so we can determine how you best can show your love. Expect to be blessed.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Our Cookie Two-Step Ice Cream is a creamy vanilla ice cream with hints of brown sugar, chunks of chocolate cream-filled cookies, and tasty chocolate chip cookie dough pieces. Cookie Two-Step has everybody's taste buds two-stepping, and 1 and 2.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at Albertsons United Supermarkets and all Farmers Country Markets. Did you know that most burglaries occur during the day? Why, you ask? Most of us are at work, leaving the burglar to go unnoticed. Did you know the average loss from a home burglary is over $2,200? Not including one's loss of emotional security in their own home. Avoid being a burglar's target market and get a monitored security system from Zenith Security Services, all for around $1 a day. Wouldn't you agree that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure? Call Zenith Security Services today, 626-3521.
Well, the geraniums were a little slow at getting started this year, but now they're ready to go. Hi, this is Jim Gilf with a lesson in delayed gratification. At Roswell Seed Company, we grow our own geraniums, and that old polar vortex sure slowed them down. But now they may be the sturdiest, most colorful geraniums you've ever put in the ground, so come get yours today. Kind of like your neighbor's son who's still living in the basement. Late bloomers can be the brightest of them all. Or maybe not. Have you seen that kid?
So you think drinking alcohol can't hurt you? It'll mess you up big time. Say adios to large chunks of your brain. Major damage is already being done. Other parts of your body are getting wrecked too. Forget about sports, forget about school, forget about doing much of anything. Underage drinking freaks out your body, messes up your life.
Sponsored by the NMDOT.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, I think it wasn't a surprise. We've been talking for about 10 minutes here, but Marie Manning joining us, new executive director for Main Street Roswell. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm doing phenomenal.
Very good. So now, what's this, like 12 jobs you have now?
No, it's only 2. Well, I guess technically I'm a musician too.
She's a musician.
3.
I think that's your passion. That's your
definitely.
That would be
gotta
like
have the art.
If someone said drop everything today and pick one, it's your musician work.
I would definitely want to
right?
definitely want to sell my songs to. I'm more of a songwriter and love to perform them so that obviously people can hear my music. But if Miley Cyrus was like, "Hey, you want to write me an album?" I'd be like, "Yeah, girl. How much money you got in the bank?"
Oh, okay. But so you hear on the radio, but you also she's now taken over and going to be making things happen at Main Street.
Yes,
here, so.
Super excited for the opportunity. Kathy Lay's shoes were gigantic to fill, but she's been mentoring me, and I mean, she's still doing great things for our city.
Yeah,
so.
she's, even though technically she's no longer working there, she's, like you said, been mentoring, helping, and kind of filling in getting you up to speed on what the position requires. So that's great to see, and with that, it's making events like tonight possible. So.
Yes, I'm super excited. I mean, I've been volunteering for First Friday for pretty much like 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, because you've done a lot of work with, like, especially booking entertainment, things like that. That was kind of, you helped out a lot in those venues and getting like artists to come and to do some of the activities you see that's part of First Fridays, things like that. So
yeah, definitely getting people excited to volunteer or even share their music, because it's a way for people to find out who you are. And we have singer-songwriters, DJs, and full bands that have played over there at Reichman Park. And as soon as we can get the permits again for music and stuff, now that things are opening up, we'll have music once again. But for now, I mean, if you're downtown, you typically hear somebody's boombox playing pretty loud.
You just kind of follow your ears, and there it goes.
Exactly.
Do want to ask, because I know prior to COVID and all that stuff, like if you wanted to be a vendor, like a food truck out there or a band, there was applications online to do that. Is that still the case, or do we want to do a little different now?
With the food trucks, that's their own thing. The Friday food trucks, they organize that, one of the local businesses down there. So
yeah, that's like every Friday.
Yeah, that's every Friday, and that's their own thing. Basically, what they can do is, if you're a food truck, and I don't know how much longer they're going to be doing it down on Main, but I know right now, if you're a food truck, you basically partner with a business and ask permission to set up in front of their business. Yeah, make sure that you can have your generator and all that. And that's not a Main Street Roswell thing, but obviously we encourage them going down there.
Everyone has the same end game there. We're all trying to
support
bring
local.
A community down here.
Yes, exactly.
Make the Main Street corridor a vibrant place for people to come and hang out and shop and eat and enjoy life.
It's an added little thing to our First Friday. And like I said, I don't know how much longer that'll be happening, but I know that right now there's food trucks down there right now, because I walked down there. We got a couple already set up. So
they got out there early.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, there's one or two usually, because I'm here. I usually roll through here about 6:30ish or so, and usually on Fridays there's one or two trucks already out there, kind of getting ready for the day at that time of the morning. So yeah, they're there all the day. So.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be able to have them not only every single Friday for our downtown businesses, but for the First Friday, it's an added edition. And like I said, you can definitely find out online more about that even though it's not a Main Street Roswell thing, we very much encourage those food trucks to pair up with businesses that allow them to set up in front of them. So
and it's great because hopefully the Main Street businesses, they look at it and say, hey, we'll find food trucks that kind of match our theme and kind of go hand in hand, and then they help each other out probably. So I would imagine too, if you find some of those, that you might find deals like if you buy something in here, get something off in the food truck, or I'm sure there's kind of deals worked out between businesses. And stuff too,
and with Main Street, we always try to, for the first Friday, we make sure our event page is action packed with all the participating businesses, and they always have the deals and discounts on the first Friday day. But yeah, there's lots of different things to choose from down there as far as the food trucks go, and we're super glad that lots of businesses are allowing them to set up and partner with them, because like I said, it's a big community that we're wanting to grow and keep vibrant downtown. So.
Absolutely. So if you've never participated in First Friday before, officially it's kind of 5 to 8 p.m. in the evenings, but the downtown businesses, a lot of them participate all day. And what I mean by that is like they'll offer sales and things that are exclusive to First Friday.
Yes.
But sometimes they start them when the shop opens at 8, 9 in the morning, or sometimes
a lot of them will.
And then some businesses may not be open at 8 o'clock at night, so they'll do their stuff a little earlier. If you go to the Main Street Roswell Facebook page, or you can get kind of the rundown of what each business is doing tonight, and like what special things and
that's what I'm encouraging, because I have it all printed out and I sent it to you. 7 pages long of just participating businesses. That's not only retail and just fun stuff for the kiddos, but also the restaurants.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, Kathy Lay was great at contacting these people and making sure the businesses knew what was going on. And our district's huge. I mean, it goes from 8th Street all the way to Alameda,
absolutely,
and then Bass, Virginia.
Yeah, it's
down
just
to
not
Richardson.
Main Street. It's a few blocks on either side of it downtown.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I made sure and called people and tried to meet people face to face, despite the fact that it's kind of hard, me trying to get my footing and making sure people know who I am. But everybody was very nice and emailed me or called me back, and they're pretty much excited for us to do this, not only every single First Friday, but all the Main Street Roswell events that are coming ahead, including the Alien Fest and Farmers Market. So, but First Friday is going to be one of those things that is something that's been going on since I've been participating in them for about 4 or 5 years now. And we want to keep that going and make sure that everybody knows all about it. And every single month, Kathy Lay would be in here, giving you guys the lowdown, and we're excited for you guys to keep that.
Absolutely. We'd love to have folks come down and support this and everything else. And obviously, promote anything Main Street does.
But I wanted to personally thank you for allowing us to continue doing this every year. And I know you've had me in here before with Juliana.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doing it whenever Kathy Lay's,
when she gets busy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was a busy lady and staying busy for our city. But this is going to be a great one for the kiddos, because they get free coupons for munchkins from Dunkin' Donuts.
Nice. Yeah, that's right. Because what is it? National Donut? What is the
National Donut Day today?
Yeah, it is today. I knew it was a donut. I couldn't remember if it was National Donut Day or some kind of. So they're taking full advantage at Dunkin', which means sweet treats for you, the consumer.
Yes, exactly. And these are we have 100 coupons to give out. Every kiddo that's 12 and under will receive 1 coupon, and you can use that coupon, I believe, the 5th and the 6th of June to be able to go get your free munchkins. And
nice.
I actually just found this out about Dunkin' Donut. On the 31st, any month that has a 31st, you get a $1 scoop of the Baskin Robbins.
Oh,
over there.
Nice.
So that was something that I just found out about, because I was, I was interrogating them about, you got munchkins and all this good stuff. And thank you so much for giving us the coupons. And they're like, well, we also have this every single month. And I'm like, don't tell a girl that. $1 scoop of ice cream on the 31st of every month.
Well, they did tell you in June, so now you're going to have to wait till July.
I know, because there was one for May.
Yeah.
And then they just said, that just passed, and delicious and delectable.
If you need to know what days you can get your free scoop, I recommend the knuckle method. This is how I learned to learn 30 and 31 day months. So if you take your knuckles here and you start with your index finger and you go January, that's in the middle of the knuckle, that's 31 days. February, you touch in the middle, 28. March, 31 days, back to the thing. Oh. April, touch in the middle. So you do that the way, and then when you get to June and July, you do twice on the pinky Knuckle. June, July, July and August.
Well, what happens whenever?
Because July and August are only two back-to-back months that have 31 days.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, that's actually a great way to keep track of my days.
I swear, I've been doing that since I was a child. If I'm like, and I'll be like, okay, May, June. All right,
I just always count on my fingers with my days.
I use my knuckles. That was my.
Who can beat a $1 $5 scoop on the 31st of every month that has the 31st.
So you have to wait till July for the next opportunity.
Okay, awesome.
But get your munchkins on.
Yes, get your munchkins on, all the kiddos. And the great thing about the first Friday is not only the deals and discounts and all the participating businesses, but we also have new mascots. And I don't know if you got to see
the dogs.
Yes. They are so adorable.
Yeah, I can never pronounce their names because I always botch it.
I have them written down, and I tried to do, but just the cute puppies, 2 of them, they're brother and sister, and this was kind of a thing that they did during the pandemic to just keep, spirits alive, positive vibes all around. They had a little contest for the mascots, and it was kind of like a fundraiser / picking these mascots, and they're adorable. Imagine that, and Scrapbook is the one that sponsors them, and typically they're hanging out there for a little bit, but most of the time they are walking around. Totally can have photo opportunities with them, and they even have their own Facebook page, and they do make appearances at other events as well. So you can hit them up and basically ask, and we have their link on our Facebook page. So Main Street Roswell will hook you up with not only the information that's going on with First Friday and all the deals and discounts and participating businesses, but also those cute little adorable dogs that are our mascots for Main Street.
If you're an animal lover, First Fridays is usually a great night for you because usually not only will you'll see things like the mascot dogs, but like Tascosa's always supporting the Humane Society, and sometimes they'll have pets over there. Mm-hmm. She's a Dandy usually has the Runyon Ranch folks out quite a bit.
This is going to be the first month that they're not out there just because it's
of course,
graduation
that's the one
weekend.
I say it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. No, they're typically there every single month, and I always
and they bring their little furry friends out there.
Exactly.
And those are usually exotic animals. So if you're if you want to see animals you don't see every day, swing by She's a Dandy. Like I said, it's graduation this month, so they're focusing on that. But I'm sure next month or in the coming First Fridays, they'll be back with the animals.
And I'll make sure you guys know all about that for sure. And the next First Friday is technically on the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, which will be right with UFO Fest and everything else that same time. And of course, Alien Fest will be what's
lots
going
of
on.
things going on in our city.
It is, for folks that don't know, the UFO Festival is going to be different than what you see in years past. Typically, the Main Street corridor does get closed down from 1st till like 2nd to 5th or 6th Street, usually right in that area. This year, that is not the case. That part will be open. The UFO Festival stuff will kind of be going on in various locations around town. But Main Street Roswell will have something for folks to participate downtown with Alien Fest. So, yes, you'll be able to drive down Main Street, but please stop in Main Street and visit all the cool stuff that's going on during Alien Fest. So it's different, but the same in some aspects.
But pretty much the more the merrier. We got lots of things going on. Alien Fest activities are all for free. We're trying to make sure that lots of people visit our local merchants in the downtown area. The courthouse lawn is going to be invaded by musicians. Galacticon will be out there with games. We're going to have free kids crafts and, of course, some alien merchandise as well, brought to you by Main Street. And,
nice.
And it's going to be fun all around. And things change. We all know that, times are changing, and there's nothing wrong with seeing what's going on with our city and checking out all the activities that are going on. But Main Street Roswell is definitely focusing on those free activities on the courthouse lawn and making sure that people have an option for everything,
Absolutely.
And the downtown businesses are super excited for our activities. And we got a passport program with scavenger hunt, and I've personally been walking around downtown picking up those passports, getting them ready for us to send off to the printers to get them going.
That all's happening as part of this.
I know for a fact there's already 20 merchants signed up for the passport program because I've been typing them in on the spreadsheet.
Great.
And they're excited. I mean, they have lots of deals and discounts too, and a lot of them are staying open later because most of the businesses shut down around, I want to say the latest is probably 8 p.m. And most of them 5:30. But for Alien Fest, I mean, it's going to be 10 at night.
Sure.
Some of them staying
till
open.
the cows come home, basically.
Exactly.
I know generally you do your cool prizes and things for people that compete in the passport program.
Oh, yeah.
Is it what's the prizes for this year's?
So I don't know all the swag stuff yet.
Okay, is it alien swag stuff related?
Definitely
Okay,
going to be. There's a lot of stuff they ordered. Juliana has definitely been great about picking up some stuff that people are going to really love and enjoy. And basically, the passport program is you go to these businesses, look for the scavenger hunt item, write it down on your passport. And depending on how many businesses we have sign up, we typically say, get 15 scavenger, 20 scavenger items on your passport, come back and see us down on the courthouse lawn, and you're going to be able to get your free swag bag. And we have surveys and stuff too for people to fill out, like, where are you from? How long are you staying in town? Things like that.
Sure.
That way we can keep track of how many visitors we have. And we want to get locals just as much as excited as the tourists, because I won't lie, people are calling me all day long asking, about Alien Fest activities and what's going on for our city. And a lot of them are from like California, Texas. And they say, we come every single year. We're excited that there's, stuff's growing and that you guys are still keeping a lot of things
I think we're going to have
downtown.
a lot of people coming in town. I think just because the mere fact alone that we didn't get to really have, there was a festival, but it wasn't like...
it was very small. We had a lot of live
It wasn't the
music
international type that we come to know and think of. And so I think that the world's opening up. People are ready to come back and
they're
participate.
Ready to spend that money. So. They're ready to just live life. I think a lot of people are just, they kind of felt like, what if something did happen bad to where I never got to experience this or that again? And
Time
I think
to start filling out the bucket list. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah, guaranteed people are filling out that bucket list. I talked to a gentleman that was from Texas, East Texas, yesterday for about 25 minutes. Him and his aunt, she's like 70 years old, just is dying to come to Roswell. They came through just visiting and went to Carlsbad and Rito, and other areas. And they were just like, so what, where's parking and all this stuff? And I was like, oh, I can send you a map.
Yeah.
Don't even ask me too many questions, because I promise you, I'll send you so many emails you won't be able to get through them all.
Be careful what you ask for.
Exactly. So I want to make sure people are definitely informed. And Main Street Roswell is, a nonprofit that helps the downtown district not only stay open, but get new businesses in those empty buildings that we have, so that we have what I would call a hallmark downtown district. And we're keeping it, very much alive right now, and lots of volunteers working hard. I mean, we have an 8 board member right now and growing, and lots of people that just are willing to donate so much time to our community. Yeah. It is astonishing to me how many people just really care about this city.
And you look about the, and this is just, and I know the times that the last year has been catastrophic for businesses. It's just has. But you think about it, and you look at where we're at now, and you look at us a year and a half ago here in the world of Main Street Roswell, and Main Street Roswell weathered the storm. There could be a lot of boarded up buildings and a lot of closed down shops right now. Mm-hmm. And we lost a couple. We're not going to lie. We did lose some, and that is awful. Yeah. But it could have been a lot worse. And I attribute the work of Main Street Roswell, the work of our merchants, and the work of everybody basically coming together and working. When all this first went down, businesses had to close, but they were opening up to do emergency type.
Just coming up with their own websites whenever they never have done that before. Curbside soap. You'd never think about that. Getting anything you need, and luckily, once you're of a certain age, you kind of know your sizes, so it's a lot easier to shop.
Sure.
But the fact is that Main Street Roswell did a lot of things, like even going live in some of these stores and being able to go online and post up videos for people to know about the new items. And even though we did lose some really great businesses that were near and dear to not only my heart but to our community, a lot of businesses popped up out of nowhere during the pandemic too.
We did have some business growth. You're right.
Yes, exactly. And it's crazy how many new additions we have. Rugged Trade is one of those new ones. That's
absolutely, they expanded.
They're
one of the few companies that expanded during
exactly, and just lots of great businesses that just really became resourceful.
Because
when times are tough, you got to think of those positive solutions. I talk about this all the time. In math, there's you have 2 negatives that make a positive.
Sure.
Think about 2 negative things that are going on in your business and your life. Come up with one positive solution to make things happen for yourself. And a lot of those businesses did that.
Absolutely. And that's how we as humans kind of grow and get better.
Yes, exactly. Push.
But I would say, I'd say hindsight looking at, and do we want to go through that again? Absolutely not. But
no.
I would say in some aspects, we're better as a community for some of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people thought of, like the online aspect of not thinking that people would want to purchase those things online, or even just having the platform or the knowledge to be able to get it on there. And I'm the type of person that's willing, like, are you on Google yet? I'll stand right here and get you on there, so that when people Google your business name, they know exactly where. Because I use Google. Everybody uses Google, especially for their businesses. So just adding yourself to Google is a good resource to make sure that when people just want coffee in my local, they're going to pick you up and things like that. So
do the simple free things, because why wouldn't you?
Exactly. So just making sure businesses know about that, and lots of different grants were awarded. I know different grants to help businesses just stay open, or even do new work on the front of the businesses.
The facades,
yes, exactly.
That's been kind of a standing one every year, hasn't it?
Yes, EDC does that one, and they're amazing. We partner with them as well, and I got to meet Irma and Melissa and Mike. And they're great people trying to make sure that businesses know about those grants, and also just making sure I email anything out that I get from them saying, hey, this is available to you.
Sure.
And EDC actually works for all the city and all the county. And Main Street Roswell's district is obviously, like I said, from 8th to Alameda, and but
it's kind of like the chamber has its area, and so obviously Main Street Chamber do they have the same goals, so there's they're promoting each other events. Same thing with the EDC. Their scope is just a little bit bigger than Main Street or the Roswell Chamber.
Yeah, pretty much
they cover all of the county, so and growth to the county, and even they've got their ear on counties neighboring us too, and because we all impact each other, and that's kind of that.
It's astonishing how it's kind of like those chain links that we used to make as kids. The character count links. It's like one of those links is messed up. We got to see how we can fix them and help them and ask them how they're doing. And one of the things I've been really doing is anytime I'm supporting local or going in there just as a person that lives here in Roswell, not as the executive director, I ask how's business doing? How are you doing? Are you doing well? And it might take me 15 minutes to talk to somebody, but it's time worth spending to see how those local businesses are. And if there's anything I can do just by taking a little selfie, then I'll do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so, if you're a Main Street business, haven't met Marie yet, reach out. She'd love to talk to you. But please, folks, come out this first Friday tonight. Come out anytime when you get off work, but kind of officially about 5-ish, everything kind of gets going around that
Everything
time.
Gets going.
And then officially it's supposed to wrap at 8, but it just kind of goes until...
sometimes people are still out there hanging out, just shopping. And businesses are very much like, if we're getting a lot of business, we're going to stay open.
Why
They're not
wouldn't
just going to be like, no, you can't come in. It's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we're here to get people to come. So please, come out tonight. Enjoy that.
Yes.
I know there's graduations and all that other stuff going on and stuff, but maybe come before or after and maybe have dinner or a meal afterwards or something. Like I said, the Main Street businesses have great stuff. Sometimes you'll see music on patios and all kind of stuff.
That's one of the things we're encouraging is the businesses. Is musicians don't know this because I haven't got to inform them yet, but if you actually go to one of the businesses that have room in there and ask them, hey, I'm a musician, I do this type of music, can I set up in here? A lot of those businesses are teaming up with the local musicians as well, since we can't get the permits. So that's something that you can definitely do as an independent artist. Go ask. That's how I got in with Main Street.
Yeah, and it's a good. It's usually a good. Good for both sides. There, we're bringing in business, and the artist is getting some exposure with their music and things. So it's a win-win for everybody. Next thing you know, who knows? Maybe you're selling your CDs out of that business and everything else too.
People are always willing to support somebody if you're going to support them.
So. Absolutely. And I just saw the time, so we better get going here. And then, of course, Alien Fest, which is all part of all of this going on that weekend with UFO Festival. That's going to be what's happening in the Main Street corridor.
Yes.
July 1st through 3rd, same time window there. If you go to the UFO Festival, Roswell.com, you'll find information about this, along with all the other UFO Festival events and things. We'll probably talk more heavy next month because it'll be right there.
Yes.
But put it on your radar. Go to the website. If you're a vendor or a Main Street merchant and you've got some stuff you want to do as part of this, please reach out to Marie and say, hey, we want to be doing this at the event. Can you help us promote that?
Yeah, I can definitely give you all the information. I know Main Street Roswell is not going to be having any vendors on the courthouse lawn just because we're not blocking off anything.
Sure.
But I am more than willing to give anybody information, not only about Alien Fest, but anything that's going on in the city.
Sure.
You're definitely open to hit us up on Facebook or even come down to the office or give me a call. And I will, like I said, I'll email you everything you want to know.
It's a source of information here, too. And this one I know a lot of people are excited for. We are almost a month. What's today officially? It's not the 10th yet. So we're a little over a month. Away. But July 10th, mark that date on your calendars. Circle it, put it in your phones if you're a little more modern than me or whatever you do. Remember, July 10th, that it will be your first farmers market here for the summer on the Chaves County Courthouse lawn. So.
Last year was so successful. I was actually volunteering and going out there and doing kids craft table and also playing music, and we're looking for musicians for that already. So if you're a musician that wants to play for farmers market, you can already hit me up. We have a farmers market Facebook page, and you can hit me up on the Main Street Roswell page as well. But that is something that's really special.
Yeah.
I mean, locally grown food and vegetables, and very affordable for any family. And that was our main goal, is making sure that all families have access to, fruits and vegetables that are affordable and that
It's a great pro tip, though.
Oh, yeah.
Pro tip. early the better.
Oh yeah,
Early the better. Like when they open, usually it's like 8 or what time do they officially open?
7 to 11.
7. When they make
we don't
sure
mind you in pajamas at all.
Yeah, get there at 7 because I mean, I'm just saying, if you're there, if your goal is to get fresh produce, I mean, get there early because that's, the people that want the same thing, they get there early. And so, and obviously inventory is inventory. So selection better at the beginning. But if you're there just to kind of see the ambiance, sleep in a little bit, maybe have a burrito while you're there and pick some fruit. But they also have other organizations and things selling stuff or having events going on.
I was super excited to be next to, it was Hispano Chamber of Commerce last year. They do it in the census and they were giving out free stuff for Dion's and all that. But there's so many talented people here, artists that do handmade crafts and woodwork. Yeah. And then we have vendors like, the Hispano Chamber of Commerce out there giving you information on that. And then, of course, Main Street Roswell making sure that you guys are entertained with a little live music. And I plan on definitely having some kids' craft tables set up again. Good. But it's amazing how much space is out there. So don't hesitate to hit us up. There's lots of room. And
it's
we would love it filled.
It's a big lawn. It's a very big lawn. Yes. So if you're interested, you want to be a vendor or nonprofit that wants to be a part of this, please contact Marie at Main Street. Let's get it going. July 10th. You got a little time. Oh, yeah. But don't wait till July 9th to call her and say, I want to do this. Do it maybe next week. You give her a holler and
definitely.
Say, hey,
And, I was going to say the last time that we had live music over there, I remember this guy doesn't live here anymore, Matthew Schreiner, but I wanted to make sure and give him a shout out to his family because he was there every single farmer's market at 7 a.m. helping people set up and doing music. And unfortunately, he doesn't live here anymore, but I told his family that I wanted to make sure and give him a shout out because he was a big volunteer. Yeah. And we're looking for anybody that wants to come over there and help us out and set up stuff because that was just out of the kindness of his heart. And Peggy's the one that's in charge of getting all the vendors, and you guys can find out her information on our Facebook page. And I can tell you her number all day long, but you guys just get a hold of me and I'll make sure you guys get Peggy's info. But
or visit mainstreetroswell.org. That'll get you there.
Yes, but shout out to the not only the vendors but the volunteers that come and make that happen. And Matthew Schreiner, we missed your music, so thank you so much for all that summer long of free music. And that goes from July 10th all the way into October.
He lives too far away to come back, huh?
I know. Yeah. Maybe I can entice him. I can say you might get abducted and you can get some McDonald's.
Maybe you can convince him to come back for like UFO Festival weekend and then stay a couple extra weeks.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. I should
at least get someone going. Maybe he can then groom his replacement in that time.
Yes, he was. He was pretty much a jukebox. If he didn't already know how to play it, then he would just look it up on his phone. But we're looking for lots of volunteers to get involved, not only with the farmers market and musicians, but with everything that we have going on. And now that I'm technically the new ED, my volunteer cap is kind of put on the wayside now because I have lots of other duties to do. So I'm looking for some people that are just as motivated as me to get
There's
out there.
There's lots of opportunities. If you love gardening, if you love just helping organizing, you love this kind of planning. There's lots of opportunities to serve as part of Main Street. Contact Marie, give her a call here. Even if you serving on the board, things like that, there's always opportunities there too.
For that to grow.
Please reach out to Marie here and say, hey, what do we got? What's going on? Or if you're out and about tonight, pop around, you see her and say, hey,
come take a picture with me. I'd love to meet you guys, shake your hands, and see what you got going on in your world. And if there's anything that you guys want to let us know about that's going on in your life, or just anything that's going on in the downtown business area that you plan on doing with. Say it's an individual that's teaming up with a business, let me know all about it. I want to be able to share that on our Facebook page. And of course, if you're going to be a musician that wants to play, I want to make sure that we tell people and celebrate you because that's volunteer time that definitely is appreciated.
And it is near and dear to her heart.
It is. It is.
Yeah, it's great. So please come out tonight, have some fun here, and check out I will tell you, you will be surprised at the amount. If you're looking for a shopping experience and you think our merchants have, you can find probably just about everything you need. And if you can't, they work with getting people. And then the customer, that's the beauty of shopping local in downtown. Getting people that know their products. And it's, there is a certain convenience. I ain't going to lie, about online and big box. But if you're wanting information, if you're wanting customer service, if you're wanting to support local, the best way to do that is come downtown and do some shopping. Even if you like your online, a lot of our local merchants have online shopping and things like that too. So utilize those tools to do that. And I don't want to get into every time, but basically the more of your dollar stays in town when you shop at a local store versus when you shop at a big box store versus and then internet. Almost none of that or none of it comes to us at all. So so really the most bang for your buck helping local is walking into a mom and pop store and buying something there, because a higher percentage of that money stays right here in Roswell.
Oh yeah, they're paying their employees and making things happen for their business. And the great thing about that too with the local businesses is if you can't find something in the store, like even your size, they're willing to order it for you.
Absolutely, that's the great part. It's like, oh, do you have this in red, or is this no? But guess what? The company makes them. I'll order them. We'll have it for you next week.
Exactly, which is really convenient, and being able to actually see it face to face for us girls.
Yeah,
we got to be able to see those things face to face sometimes, and even try them on because.
Oh, guys too. I have very bad luck at getting clothing online. I just either the shoes are too narrow or the shirt's too big or too tight. Yeah, I have bad luck at that kind of stuff. So, well, Marie, do we get everything? Is there anything we missed?
I think so. I think
awesome.
We got everything. I mean, I'd love to talk to you all day, but I'm sure you got a life to live, and so do I.
Well, the Rush Limbaugh program's next, and they get a little testy if I run into his time. So
He's in a rush.
So I don't do that. I like to keep my job. But we thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you guys.
Good luck in the new gig here, and
thank you.
We'll be talking more stuff next month.
Yes, I will see you pretty much at the end of June. I'll try to get with you the week before.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah. I know our normal schedule, but we need to get you before that to get all the Alien Fest and Farmers Market and all that stuff.
But thank you guys so much for continuing this on, and Kathy Lay wanted to make sure that you guys knew, how appreciative she was.
She's
being
great.
Able to, and
she's
and I'm sure that I'm not as fun and chatty as her, but. You got me now, so there you go.
To keep myself out of trouble, both of you are awesome and funny. I'm not going to compare who's funnier than the other because that's a slippery slope. And I've been married 20 years, and I know don't go down slippery slopes.
Oh, that's good.
I was born at night, but not last night. So
that's great.
Well, thank you, Marie,
Thank you
we'll
so
see you
much.
next time. Okay.
Yes.
Don't work too hard.
I won't.
No, try to keep the jobs at a minimum, right?
I will.
All right, 9:55. Let's do local news and a quick break before we go. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Eddy County Sheriff's Office is congratulating Deputy Ryan Kinnikin and Deputy Josh Herrera for their graduation from the Southeastern Law Enforcement Academy. Deputy Kinnikin graduated with the Academic Award and also broke the long-standing record for most continuous sit-ups at 310. Deputy Herrera was pinned by his little brother, Sam Fodge. Kinnikin was pinned by Sergeant Amy Dugas of the Eddy County Sheriff's Office. The Gila Cliff Dwellings National Monument will close this weekend while crews continue efforts to contain a wildfire in the Gila National Forest. The National Park Service said Thursday that the cliff dwellings will shut down at 8 a.m. Saturday and until further notice. The lightning-caused fire, which was first reported May 20th, has burned roughly 60 square miles. Firefighters will also conduct burnout operations west of the cliff dwellings on the so-called Johnson Fire. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street opened higher this morning, the gains coming on the heels of the government's May employment report.
It's a sign the firms are making some progress, filling a record number of openings as the economy powers up. The Labor Department reports payrolls increased by 559,000 last month after a revised 278,000 gain in April. The jobless rate, meanwhile, dropped to 5.8%. Employers are trying to get headcounts in line with a resurgence in demand.
That's correspondent Jeremy House reporting. China is protesting President Biden's expansion of a list of Chinese companies whose shares are off limits to U.S. investors because of their purported links to the Chinese military as well as to surveillance activities. Mr. Biden's order continues a policy enacted last year by then President Trump. With business, I'm Rich Thomason.
Customizable office equipment is one stop away at PTS Office Systems. Of course, you and the business next door do different things, so you need different office equipment. PTS Office Systems has fully customizable office equipment in stock, waiting to be delivered to your business. Get fully customized office equipment to meet your office's specific needs. The day and age of one-size-fits-all office equipment is gone. Shop around at PTS Office Systems today at 217 North Main in downtown Roswell.
Your home is your sanctuary, and the land it's built on is even more precious. So when termites start devouring your house, you want a proven treatment that's environmentally responsible. You want the Centricon Termite Colony Elimination System. The Centricon system is the green way to protect homes from subterranean termites. Rather than surrounding your house with hundreds of gallons of diluted chemical solution, the Centricon system strategically uses just a few grams of active ingredient in termite bait, working with natural termite behavior to destroy termite colonies. With this technology, it's no wonder the Centricon system became the only termite treatment to receive the Presidential Green Chemistry Challenge Award from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. And homeowners rate the Centricon system as the most environmentally sound termite treatment. Your home is your sanctuary, so monitor, bait, and eliminate termites with the Centricon system. Think of it as your own little piece on Earth.
Call Bob Reed Pest Control today in Roswell, 623-5344, or anywhere in southeast New Mexico at 877-623-5344.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters. Talk radio has landed.